the world.
Well, there's much more of a middle class in comedy now than there ever was.
How so?
Well, there's just so many more jobs.
Right.
So it used to be like you were like huge or barely getting by, I think, and now there's a lot of people making like a pretty decent living who aren't huge.
There's a lot of people barely getting by now.
Do people realize that? Like, are people appreciative of that new middle class, or are they thinking, because I'm not huge, I must be failing?
Well, that's their own issues. I don't know, but I mean that's how you look at it. You know, you can. And
that's how Mackey's looking.
That is how I feel. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
No,
That's
but
what it looks from Weehawken.
You could be bitter, or you could be positive and working on getting better. But yeah, you see those bitter people, it doesn't do good for them.
Joe?
No, it doesn't.
Mainly Joe. Do you think about that, Joe, sometimes that maybe you'd be more successful if you weren't locked away in Weehawken?
No, I reject the bitter label. I'm moderate bitter. I'm not totally bitter. I still, when things are good, I'm like, that was fine.
FOMO Joe from high school is slowly
Coming
creeping
through.
out.
Now you're getting why I didn't get invited to many parties.
So now, how much? Because I remember living in Cliffside Park, where the driving in was the worry. It was like 6 miles from the tunnel, and it would take an hour sometimes to get in. I couldn't do it anymore.
Oh, I live right by the tunnel, and I take the bus usually.
Oh, those fucking buses that you pay like
You take the bus?
I take
no,
these-
those small buses, right? You
no,
pay
not
like
the small buses. I get the New Jersey Transit monthly pass. I ride on the big buses, guys.
There is
okay.
nothing more
Things are looking
humanizing.
good.
Like, there is no way you can sit there and go, I'm living my dream on the bus. Like, you just can't. That's the issue.
No,
Your
but you got your own
perspective.
bus lanes. You fly right in.
They actually have special buses that go from Weehawken in New York for people like Joe.
Are
It's
they
really
the short
cool.
buses?
Yeah.
How long
No,
does
but
it take you to
can't,
get
Joe.
in
It's
on
your
the bus?
perspective. You got to drive your car in. Think about it in your car. I
Yeah.
got my own car. I'm driving in to do comedy.
Oh, yeah,
you can't
Speedwagon.
put on Speedwagon.
Then again, the bus. Why I used to take those small buses where they would pay cash? These fucking assholes. They didn't even use Easy Pass. These guys. They didn't want to declare how often they were coming in and out. But the New Jersey Transit buses probably get you in very fast.
Yeah, off peak, you're in 10 minutes.
How about when it's like rush hour? I mean, there's still the
There's
bus.
still the
lanes.
bus lane. It used to be worse because they didn't have the bus lane at night. They only had it during morning rush. So it can take an hour pretty easily.
But there's no way you can feel the proper sense of accomplishment, Joe, that you should be feeling. You're doing great. You're doing all kinds of great things, but you're going to forget about all the great things that you're doing because you take the bus in.
But I save money, and two, I think there's something good to not having it too easy. You know, it does make you work harder to want other things that other people.
Joe, you don't have to make it hard on yourself.
Yeah.
There's plenty in life.
Plenty in the
doing
business that will
you
do
know?
it for all.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
true.
dude, that's
Yeah.
what we're here for, man.
Yeah.
When you take the bus back, what time does it stop going back?
They run throughout the night. It's just they run at further intervals, so I have to plan it out a little better.
Like on a Friday, what's the latest bus you can get?
3:30. But the nice thing is too, I can take the path to Hoboken and then take an Uber, because Uber has really democratized travel to where
Yeah.
you can live in the burbs and still get home if you're
That is
Yeah.
nice.
too
right.
late.
That's really
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, I mean, the only reason is
Literally,
You
he
mean
just said
taking a-
democratize travel, and we all just nodded politely. Fucking horrible radio show. 4 comedians should be executed.
I didn't want to point out to Joe after trashing him for taking the bus that taking a train to an Uber to get home is not a nice thing.
Well, it's more expensive to just take it from the city, though. This is not going well.
Joe, you got a
You're
purple
raising-
Lexus. Drive your purple Lexus
Yeah.
around with some
That is
pride.
true.
Are you kidding? You know how many people want to steal that car?
Get a monthly parking thing for the lot at the Comedy Cellar. It's right there. Drive your car in and out as much as you want.
Well, we want us to be able to chill and have a drink or two.
Yeah, then
right?
all your
Yeah.
profits go up in smoke, though. I mean, if you're fucking paying for garages in and out,
Yeah, but
do you pay for a garage in Jersey?
No
You
way.
gotta move it?
Street parking.
So you got to move it?
No, there's no alternate side in
Oh,
Weehawken.
great. But what's worse than coming home at 1 o'clock in the morning and some fuck is taking up 2 spots with his
Oh,
car?
God, it drives you crazy.
That made me murderous.
How crazy, Joe? Mad enough to kill?
I'm not going to fall for that one again.
well, I think you're doing great,
Yeah.
Joe, regardless of any buses. I think you're doing terrific.
Thanks, guys.
I mean, you got a podcast named after you, for God's sake. How many of us
It's
have
huge.
Keeping Joe, man.
that? It's
well,
giant.
I mean, maybe I aimed low with my co-hosts.
That could be it. That could be it. Have we, you guys, I'm assuming, Sam, are you a sports fan, Phil?
I'm not a huge sports fan.
Because I realized that we filled out our March Madness brackets.
Yeah, mine is still good.
I think that they said that there's one March Madness bracket in the country that is 100% still.
And that's a record.
I think it's mine. I haven't been following the games
Really?
though. I don't know
Is
for
Seton
sure.
Hall still in it?
I put.
I don't know.
I think I put Syracuse to win it all, and they're gonna beat.
They're out in round one, I'm pretty sure.
What? I said that they're gonna beat Iona in the finals
I root for Syracuse usually.
because Iona's in the Bestchester and Syracuse is where I went, so I figured that's the best way to pick these teams. But I believe Rob and Reed have both been tracking our progress. Are we still doing well?
Yeah,
We're still doing pretty good. Okay. See, I don't know who's in, so this still to me looks like 100%.
Yeah, you're.
Duke's in, right?
Yep.
Why Duke losing to St. Louis in the Sweet 16? So, did they? Are we at? Where are we at right now?
Are we at the 16 now?
Yeah.
Yes. We're at the 16.
Duke barely won. That was a crazy game. That was also like, I can't believe I hate myself for rooting for Duke in that game, but I just want to keep these players are unreal. Like Zion Williamson,
Well, you want to have that like powerhouse team, right?
Cam Reddish, RJ Barrett. It could be Duke and North Carolina, right? That would be pretty crazy.
I'm just bored with the same teams every couple of years. You know, it's like.
But the players are awesome, man. I mean, this is a really good class, and I'm a huge Knicks fan. So if the Knicks get Zion or John Morant or even RJ Barrett or something, I'll be pumped.
That'll be
Travis
the next
raises a
2
good
years
point.
before they leave. They leave disgruntled for another team.
What's Travis's point?
How's he bored? He doesn't watch it.
He does.
You're right, but I'm
Bored with
just
the
being.
same
I'm
team.
And
sick
it's
of the
college.
names.
The teams are
I don't even
completely
know who's in it.
The teams are completely different every time. It's
enough.
college. Like
It's
you can't
not a bad
keep the same.
point. I'm just tired of hearing about Duke.
You don't even.
But you come on, even if you don't follow college sports, North Carolina, Duke, you hear the same names.
It
They have a
wears
good
on you.
basketball program.
Yeah.
Does it wear on you, Phil? Does it? Or are you
It's a
being
grind.
agreeable? Does it wear on you? Were you just sitting there thinking, "Oh, all this Duke talk is wearing on
Do
me"?
this, North
No,
Carolina.
that's what I'm talking. It's good to be bitter. Like you just start complaining about stuff.
Because I'm
true.
starting to think Jim raised a nonsense point.
Yeah, I did.
No,
Travis
I got,
pointed it out.
no, I got
Zion
his back on
Williamson.
that one.
Zion
Oh, okay.
Williamson is like Charles Barkley 2.0. I think he's going to be ridiculous if he can stay healthy and athletic.
I know Charles Barkley more for his pregame work.
Absolutely.
He's amazing.
I love him.
He's incredible.
But have you seen clips of like young Barkley?
Sir Charles?
Insane.
Yeah. I only know his name was Sir Charles because he was
Yeah.
popular when I was a kid.
And he
So you had
sold
to-
deodorant.
Right. You had to pretend to like basketball when you were a kid. If you're in New York, right?
I love basketball.
By the way, we're big fans of JD and the Straight Shots.
Oh, yeah. You're probably well aware.
Yeah, we better find a church. It's been stuck in my head
One
for a
of my
month.
finest. One of the finest songs.
We've been.
You know it?
I think I showed it to you.
Did you?
I might have.
What is it?
We've been
started
playing
looking
a lot.
Maybe you did. We started looking them up after the whole thing with the fan.
Yeah. JD and the Straight Shot.
Oh, Jimmy Dolan.
That's Jimmy Dolan's band.
James.
James Dolan. Yeah, he's James.
My
when
only
he's
criticism
performing.
with his hands are in his pockets too much.
Yeah.
Like the song is good, but he's a little uncomfortable because he has hands in his pockets.
We've actually had multiple covers of this song be submitted to us through the
Really?
show.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. The fans are into it in a big way.
This is hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah. You still work for the Knicks?
No.
Why did he throw you out because you said you should sell the team
No, that was Charles Oakley. That was crazy. I was at that game.
at the Charles Oakley game
I
when
was,
he got?
I was there with Michelle
removed?
Wolf, and I saw a tough-looking gray-haired guy fighting security, and I was like, "That's fucking Charles Oakley. He's still got it." The enforcer.
He's still a tough guy, right?
Oh my god, dude! I shot a commercial. It's never gonna come out, but I shot something with him, and
What was it for?
It was for Bleacher Report. He was cool as fuck. I loved. I basically told him I was like, "You're part of the reason I love basketball." And he, dude, it was him and Mason and Starks and Ewing. Maybe the coolest team
Wow.
ever.
Oh, I thought you meant in the commercial.
No,
Oh, okay.
no. But Starks did my show a few times. He did one with Mackie. He was
Yeah, it was great.
Starks is cool as fuck.
Remember Donnell Rollins shut down Anthony Mason at the Carolines. He was like
What?
talking or heckling or whatever, and Donnell smashed him.
He did.
I forget what he said. Something about you, the sixth man, motherfucker, not the fifth. It was some
Whoa.
great slam.
So he
which
knew it
inside-
was him. It wasn't
oh
just-
yeah,
yeah.
did he? Yeah, and everybody really laughed at Anthony Mason.
That's great.
Oh, he's dead, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say
He died?
Mason died.
Oh, what did he die of?
He was really overweight. I don't know. But he was, dude, he was I mean, he may have been the sixth man, but he was a fucking beast. He was awesome.
Do you want to? Did you want to hear a little better? Find a church, Jim.
Yes. You know this song.
Of course. I'm familiar with the whole catalog.
You celebrate their entire
I
catalog.
love it.
Actually, the hands in the pockets are growing on me. You'll see it soon. That's actually how you do stand when singing. Comfortable.
That's how you stand when singing. But what about when you're doing whatever it is that James Dolan is doing in this band?
I disagree with you. Sam doesn't like James Dolan. I think he's a fine boy.
I think he's got a.
I never said that.
I think
They've
he's
been
got
very
a-
you,
nice to
Sam,
me.
my Sam.
Oh.
I think he's got a terrible voice.
My
and his,
Sam.
I am your Sam.
You never see a video.
I'm your Samwise.
My Sam.
I just said my Sam. Yeah, like the Sean Penn character.
That sounds like a gay love story.
Yeah, my Sam.
An indie film. Get it off your chest.
Yeah!
Give yourself some rest. I don't know.
Do you want to
She's
hear?
good, too.
Do
This
you want to
girl-
hear how the song was supposed to sound?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you
we
know
have,
her?
No, she's good.
Do you just assume because he did a show on the MSG network that he knows the girl
Wait,
in
my-
JD and the Straight Shot?
Well, sure, they might have been at
Better
games.
find a church.
He doesn't even know James Dolan.
He complimented my. I was at a game and Michelle Wolf and I wore horrible sweaters a few months ago, and he was like, "That's a great sweater." So, he's good in my
I
book.
stand corrected.
Maybe you could
Okay.
sing in his band.
He didn't recognize you for the fact you did a TV show on his network?
I don't think he washed.
That's so funny.
Yeah, I
All right,
wouldn't
nice
imagine.
sweater, guy. Thanks, I'm a host on your network.
Banned you from the garden anyways.
So who? I didn't know who is. I
She's
don't-
the Knicks owner.
Oh, that's the Knicks owner. Okay.
Yeah, the guy with his
Owns
hands in his
MSG.
pockets.
Oh, okay.
So we, the face plants who do our intros.
He looks right into the camera. That's how a man sings.
Of course
Yeah.
he does. He wants to connect with us, the audience at home.
I love her, too. She's so cute.
The face plants who do our intro. Oh wait, listen to the breakdown.
In the end, that's what you've done.
Straight true.
Air smells sweet on a sinner's path. Still gonna face the good Lord's wrath.
Ugh.
A little plink of the guitar's nice.
No, I'm not saying that the guitar man isn't good at what he does, but just the context of all this. This is so
Listen to those harmonies. They're great.
They're very nice. I agree.
harmony. Oh.
I agree.
I do question the musical integrity of everybody in this band except James Dolan.
Speaking of James going horribly wrong.
I'm telling you, she carries this band.
She's good.
Yeah, but James would never say that.
James and her have a wonderful combination.
They don't have a chemistry
They
at
do.
all.
It's amazing.
think his
I think they're a
pockets
real
carry the
couple.
band.
Yeah, they got that chemistry.
He makes expressions while he's singing. I like that.
I don't know what it is about this song, but I feel like finding a church right now. You know?
Well, wait till you hear how the song was supposed to sound. Do we have the face plants in there, Travis?
Please.
Of course we do.
All right, here's
No,
the.
I don't like how we are now unironically enjoying the song.
No, we are not.
I've always
to, to-
enjoyed
to
it.
the point where we've completely forgotten about Ballyhoo, which is way worse.
Ballyhoo's a great song.
No,
Ballyhoo tells a story and
You
he
like
kind of
that.
acts it out on
Dude, the
stage.
Knicks are going to be legit next year. The
weaves the
drought
tail.
ends. We're going to get KD,
not
we're
gonna
going to get
happen.
Kyrie Irving, and we're going to get Zion, and the Knicks are going to be back on the map. You heard it here first.
Ballyhoo is a good live because he kind of acts it out, which I like.
You like that when he's wearing
I
his
do.
hat?
Yes.
Sam, stop talking about the Knicks. We're
We're talking about the Knicks
talking
owner.
about JD in the street.
No, I understand. Sam's worried about being banned from the garden, but we're
No, I legitimately think we're going to be good next year.
You think Sam Morrill's a little worried about being banned?
I understand.
I like that song.
don't like
Wow.
that
It
song.
comes across as
I
desperate.
like that song too.
Yeah.
I think it's a great song.
I like it as well, and so does Troy.
Yep, I like it a lot actually.
That's right. And I'm not going to Knick games. I don't care about the Knicks at all.
Yeah, but you have bad taste.
It's
Mainly
true.
in co-hosts.
If that's not,
Yeah, that's not your Sam.
yeah, I know. My Sam would never.
Here's the hit single
This
"Ballyhoo"
is
as
live.
performed live
Oh,
by JD and the Straight
This is so
Shot.
weird.
tour
I
and
just got a
stuff.
text that said banned.
Rolls his sleeves up.
Wait. Can we please skip the part where he talks?
Oh
No.
hell no.
That's
You
part
like
of
that part,
Love
Troy?
it.
Oh, okay.
You do, right?
A little crowd banter, nothing wrong with that.
I guess you got to connect, right?
Yeah,
Plus, you got to set up the story of the song.
exactly.
You're right because the lyrics are so mysterious. Have we figured out if he said "sup" or "so"?
He said, so.
I'm still going "sup."
No, he says so.
What are you going with, Travis?
Definitely sup.
So
Yeah, he thinks
douchey.
He's cool.
He says,
Sup.
He says so.
Sup.
Thank you for hanging in there with us. This next song,
That's quite a chapeau.
Oh yeah, it is. James Dolan doesn't skip a meal, does he?
Well, he likes to.
He eats well.
Oh yeah, he lives high on the hog.
I think he looks fine.
You do. Healthy, right?
It's a good, healthy gut.
Yeah.
He does have a nice bulge.
He's drinking 2
He's
Cokes.
packing.
Yeah.
A lot of it may be fupa.
Yeah, possibly.
Does Mackie know what a fupa is?
No, what is that?
It's just like no. Go back to JD and the Straight.
Okay.
Now, you might wonder what a ballyhoo is, or you might think you know what a ballyhoo is. And you might know what it is, but for our purposes, a ballyhoo...
Does he purposes?
Purposes. He's talking.
Why is he putting on that weird inflection?
That's how he talks.
No, it isn't.
The sort of ringmaster, whatever you would call him, would come out and he would go into town and he'd try.
Listen to how many people aren't listening to him.
None of them.
They're probably all telling similar tales.
Yeah, everyone has their own ballyhoo story.
Sure, absolutely. That's right. The ringmaster would come.
They're all just
Of course. Everyone has to put on their
Agreeing.
top hats. Oh, he's playing ballyhoo.
yeah. That's all that is. That's the sound of everybody agreeing.
Come see the show and pay dime. And he made a big noise.
Spoiler alert on the lyrics.
And so I am now going to make a ballyhoo for you.
Oh God.
Perfect.
No, it isn't perfect.
I don't know. It rhymed.
Remember when he said it cost how much?
A dime.
A dime.
right.
There we go.
Let's see if that comes up in the song at all.
Oh, I didn't know he would crouch like that.
Oh yeah, he
That's
would.
part of it.
Step right up. Just cost a dime.
Oh God. He just said that.
Right through this door.
Like this before, right through this door? Oh my God! Okay, did you hit pause? That girl that you and Troy are obsessed with.
Yes.
That is her truest moment right there. When she condescendingly smiles at him, like okay, because she doesn't think
It's a
she's
very
being
genuine
filmed.
smile.
That's where she's
They're in
saying,
love.
"I can't believe
Yeah.
I'm doing
It's a genuine
Yeah.
smile.
You rarely see the entire band laughing at these starting the song.
this." Yeah.
Yeah.
That smile is the smile that the one girl who invited Joe to a high school party made when he said, "Oh, thanks for inviting me," and she went, "Yeah, glad you're here."
It was a trick.
The
She
audience
turned
would-
to her friend. Who invited him?
Every fantasy you've been waiting for.
She's laughing at him. She knows the music's terrible.
No, she's enjoying the
does.
song as we are.
She is.
Yeah, she's hoping
Travis,
this is
you
gonna lead
enjoying
to-
this?
Yeah.
I love it. This is one of my favorite live performances of any band ever.
I'm just
Absolutely.
watching. I'm watching the girl only now
Yeah, me too.
Yes.
because the girl this is her moment where she's like, "I can't. This is horrible.
No, she's enjoying it.
I'm in front of an audience, which is good.
And she
Yes.
thinks it's going to lead to something bigger. She
Yeah.
probably gets paid okay.
She's right.
I'm sure she gets paid well,
Everybody tells her, "Oh, you're the star of the show."
Absolutely.
but they say it quietly.
You have to tell him that he's earned this through hard work.
Hey, we made it here. That's what you think he tells that to the band. Can you guys believe we made it?
I booked us here at the venue I own.
Yeah, they opened
for the Eagles.
for the Eagles
That
at
was the
Madison
Eagles'
Square Garden.
request.
What, are you really?
Uh-huh.
James Dolan owns part of Madison Square Garden.
They opened for a bunch of bands there.
Yeah, but
Wow.
Perfect.
why didn't they go on the rest of the tour with the Eagles?
Probably too busy
Yeah.
doing solo stuff.
Lugging those hats around the country? No way.
He owns a lot of venues. They have to work.
Yeah. Oh, that really makes you think.
See
Jim,
the
does
Wolfman running wild?
it make you feel a little more normal to see a Wolfman running wild?
Sure does.
Well, Jim, what if he is the normal one and you're the wild one?
That's a great point.
Thanks, man. This is terrible.
This is excellent.
Take your
See?
seats. It's time to bring out the freak.
It's nice.
Do you know how many people listening to the show are cursing us right now because it took them all weekend to stop thinking about JD and the Straight Shot?
Ballyhoo.
This is.
Have you watched this more than once, Travis?
More than once. I watched multiple performances.
On different. You
Yeah.
watch different live.
Oh yeah,
Does he set it up every time?
every time.
Oh my God! Same speech, same deal.
He's the best.
Is there
It's
better
nice.
audio quality than this though? This is a little
yeah,
echoing.
there's another one. That's
Let's find the other one.
No, we're good. We've done
No,
this.
Travis
So, are
wants
you-
it.
This is so
Are you
repetitive.
telling me Don Henley was backstage and listened to that setup? He's like, and there used to be a ballyhoo.
He would fight with Glenn Fry over the quality of music, but he had that.
And then he had JD. Yeah, yeah. They ended the Eagles because of it for a period of
I
time.
could see
I
that.
rank Ballyhoo right up there with Hotel California.
You would.
I would.
Which one, Travis? Which is the best one?
right up,
Come on, Troy. Up.
there.
There we go. Oh yeah, he's got the glasses too. I like that.
He looks cool with the glasses.
Can we at least fast forward to where we were before?
I want to hear the
What
little.
happens if he
Yeah,
says
it might be
something?
different every time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've seen it, Travis. You just said it wasn't.
You haven't.
There we go.
She just did a big eye roll too. The fiddler is still mocking him.
Because this is by far the worst song they do.
No, Ballyhoo's a hit.
She didn't think it could get worse after Better Find a Church, and then he came out with Ballyhoo, and she's going, what direction are we going in?
I love her. I think she's so great.
She is great.
I
she's
really am very
grown on
interested
me.
in her.
I kind of like her now
She's
too.
awesome. Ballyhoo.
I'd
She
like to-
compliments James well.
I'd like to talk to her about the reality of the situation she's in. She kind of feels like she might be kidnapped.
It'd be hard to find her real name. They
She has great. He has great sunglasses on.
Yeah, he looks really cool.
I can't imagine the PTSD she's going to go through when she finally leaves this band.
She's been there for a long time, hasn't she?
Yeah, I'm going to sit here and know all the trivia of JD and the Straight Shot. Thanks for asking me that.
Did you catch him tipping his cap to the guy filming?
I saw that.
Oh, I didn't see that. Go back.
Troy, go back about 50.
No, you
back.
don't need to go.
Go back to the beginning.
It was a nice moment.
Don't you fucking dare.
Let me see the tip of the cap.
Breaking the fourth wall.
That's a nice little touch. Fix his glasses.
Oh, he's looking right at the camera? Is that right?
Yeah, hang on.
Oh.
It's like, what if the delusional person on American Idol had $1 billion?
Exactly.
That would happen.
Did you see him?
No, you gotta go further back.
Yeah, I told you. Go back.
Don't
Yeah,
go further
I mean, maybe
back.
just start from the beginning.
I'll start over.
Yeah, right.
Did you see him fidgeting with his hat awkwardly because
Yeah.
he doesn't know what to do with
He's
his
so
other hand?
uncomfortable
Yeah.
with his own skin.
No, he's not. He's a performer. He's live in that moment.
He's not a performer.
Sure he is. Ballyhoo.
Look at him, just moving the mic from one side to the other. He has no clue. A two-headed child.
I'd love to hear the studio cut of this.
It's good stuff.
We can do that next.
No, we can't.
He's so charismatic, it takes away
There
from
he
him.
is.
Yeah,
There he is.
no.
Hello, folks at home. You're right. This mystery is
Ballyhoo.
real.
This is a nice song.
You love it.
You're
like this one,
actually
Troy?
getting this stuck in my head by playing
It's not
it
my
over and
favorite,
over
but it's
again.
grown on me.
You're a JD and the Straight Shot guy.
You know, I wanted to goof on him, but it's grown on me.
It's horrible.
Ballyhoo.
Yeah.
Travis knows.
I could see myself. I've been a big Grateful Dead fan for a long, long time.
Right.
We'll go to multiple shows,
Right.
and I could see myself following, just getting on JD tour,
Absolutely.
following, selling grilled cheeses in the parking lot.
Yeah. It's probably a lifestyle.
Yeah.
Stand there with your dirty feet watching.
I don't think you'd be the only one.
No, I'm really into it, man.
Just fucking passing a blunt back and forth, man.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Ballyhoo.
Step right up. Take your seats. Sing along.
I mean, I
All
guess
right, we're just gonna go down to JD and the Straight Shots.
Troy's other favorite bands are Matchbox 20 and Maroon 5, so I guess it would make sense that JD and the Straight Shot was on his
Oh,
list.
Straight Shots. So yeah, he likes
I like good
Juggernauts.
songwriting. Yeah.
Right. He likes male singer-songwriters. That's Troy's thing.
I
Puts the mic
appreciate a
back.
good, well-crafted song.
Right. Smash Mouth.
Yeah, I'll take
By the
Maroon
way-
5 or Smash Mouth.
Speaking of great musicians, did we see what Kid Rock was doing over the weekend?
I
That's
did
right.
see that. Yeah,
He's the fucking man,
What
huh?
did he do? We were talking about him last time I was here. What did he
Golfing
do?
with the president.
golfing with the president
Oh my
in a
God.
pair of American pants,
Red, white, and blue. I want to
Yeah.
know where he got those pants.
like an air marshal.
Yeah. He's sitting there. Donald Trump is like, I'm not too worried about this Mueller report coming out. Kid
Yeah.
Rock is like, I don't even know what you're talking about right now. but I'm golfing with the president. Look at my red, white, and blue golf pants.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you go golfing with the president, you have to wear American flag pants.
Yeah, exactly.
You do. They're actually his pants. They belong to the club.
Trump tucks his shirt in a little too tightly.
Yeah, he does.
Well, he's got to pull the pants up high. He's starting to do that Chris Christie thing where you try to hide some of the gut by pulling the
Gun.
pants up high.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
They think it does. When you have a gun, do you think that helps it out?
But
Well, I guess it's better than having the pants lower and then the big belly hangs over.
Well, yeah, it's a problem because you go so
Yeah.
low, right?
Yeah.
I think
You know-
you better find a church.
There you go. It's in my head too, Sam.
I think you're right. And look at this. It says, another great day on the links. Thank you to POTUS for having me and to everybody at Trump International for being so wonderful. What a great man, he says. So down to earth and so fun to be with. Keep America great. Kid Rock. Just so cool because Kid Rock was always such a rock star and a rebel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's so cool to see him playing golf with the president.
I don't know. Pope of Welding really called him out, though.
Let's see. Pope of Welding says, I'm starting to get concerned about your, quote, liking golf.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah,
Can
that's
you
the
take
number one concern.
Can you take Kid Rock seriously if he knows he golfs?
Sure.
Alice Cooper was a big golfer.
Was he?
Yeah. Still is.
That's right. And I take Kid. It'd be tough for me not to take Kid Rock seriously, with the body of work that he has.
The integrity.
Alice Cooper, I can believe. I don't know why. He's older, I guess.
Yeah.
How old is he? 70?
Plus, you kind of know Alice Cooper's. He's doing an act.
He's
Yeah.
silly.
You know, yeah, he's being a goofball. Plus, he was on Wayne's World saying Millie Walk Hay, and
But he-
that made me look at Alice Cooper completely.
But he
differently.
was he's 71, but he was very considered like this crazy guy, and years and years ago.
Welcome to my nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He killed a chicken. And he threw a chicken in the crowd.
that's right. I think that
Yeah.
was the legend, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it actually happened.
Yeah.
They would always
There-
compare him and Ozzy as who's sicker and all that.
Ozzy was the real deal. I
It's-
mean, Alice Cooper was performing.
It's nice that he doesn't dye his hair.
No, Joe, he probably does.
Yeah, but none of these guys, like these guys are like scary and demonic. They're not the American badass.
No.
You know, they're not bull gods.
They're not great singer-songwriters like Kid Rock.
Exactly. You
Ball
hear
with
that?
the ball.
You hear the one he did with Sheryl Crow? Put the picture away?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. You could slow it down. He's like, remember that commercial for the old CD of the like 80s hair bands? That every rocker has his soft side.
I love those.
Yeah.
Kid Rock does too. Power
Yeah.
ballads.
Are
Yeah.
those actually still selling? Probably not.
No, I think CD mixtapes that they sell on the
Spotify's
internet.
probably, yeah.
Columbia
I think they're
House.
still huge. Yeah.
we're still all paying them, right?
I don't know anybody that ever actually did.
No, me.
No, you
either.
just. I know people that were members,
8 CDs for a penny, and then you cancel.
and then you just,
Yeah.
you just never respond to any of the mail anymore.
It's hard to count. They keep sending you I got
Right.
shit CDs I didn't care about for a long time. Records.
Well, the trick is you just ignore the mail and you move on. You just move on with life. Didn't you do that a lot, Travis?
All the BMG, Columbia House, back and forth, back and forth.
Tape the penny to the magazine insert.
Yep.
Send it in. And then they go, okay, here's your bill. And you go, that I won't be paying that.
I'm a kid.
No, thank you.
JD and who?
Bally, what?
Well, we should take a break.
Yeah, Ballyhoo's really a good song.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
I didn't say
I'm
anything.
gonna sing it to myself during break.
Yeah,
Wait, we didn't,
Ballyhoo.
Well, step right up.
That is the best part.
Audience, they take your seats.
I got my new Coming Out on the Road song.
Bally.
I'm gonna roll my sleeves up.
To put a top hat on.
That hot on fucking people had a better time at the Great White Show.
I'm just gonna.
Before we go to break, we didn't actually get confirmation. Are Robert Reed, does somebody know who's doing
Oh, Robert Reed?
Robert Reed?
Oh,
They should
yeah.
come together. Does it? Who knows which one of us is doing best on our brackets?
I don't know. They have your brackets.
Well, they handed us here, but what did they just take the brackets and put them away and not do anything with
I
them?
think that's what Rob did, yeah.
Hell of a producer brain on that, Rob.
Well,
Just figure, okay, the games are going on. Okay, the guys pick teams.
and that is that.
I'm just gonna put the brackets away and
So you didn't keep up with how we were doing?
no, he just handed us the brackets. It was-
Same as they were?
So Rob, basically, we hired Rob to be a drawer.
Yeah.
He has the same. He has the same function as furniture.
Yeah.
I see. Okay. Well, that's important too. Everybody needs drawers.
I think so. The drawer is a good nickname.
Drawer.
The drawer.
What if we start
Rob
calling
the drawer.
the drawer?
Yeah.
You don't think that's dehumanizing?
Let's go to the drawer and see how we're doing on our March
Take it
Madness
at the
picks.
drawer.
I don't know. Okay, thank
Yes.
you, drawer.
He hands us pencils.
Somewhere Shitloaf is smiling.
You think that one of those guys should have kept up with how we were doing?
I mean, it's tough for me to blame the intern because he's an intern.
Reed, yeah.
I could blame him a little bit, but he is just the intern.
He's a fool.
Rob, I think probably should have taken the initiative of keeping up with,
That's right.
at least figuring out who picked what team, you know.
Yeah.
But
Then he wouldn't be the drawer.
he wouldn't be the drawer. Drawers don't talk. Drawers
Drawers don't talk.
That's right.
No.
Drawers just hold things.
They hold things,
Yeah.
and then when you need them,
They place them in front of you.
right, it's right there for you.
Yeah.
It keeps things safe, and that is also an important task here on
I
the
think
show.
so.
It is.
We
need storage.
What?
We'll be back with more Best of Jim Norm. We'll be back with Best of. We'll be back with more Best of Jim Roberts. We'll be back with more Best of Jim Norton and Sam Roberts. Faction Talk, Sirius XM 103 is the home of Jim Norton and Sam Roberts. Mornings.
I like playing with the buttons. This is fun.
That's not an interesting thought. Cavino and Rich at 11 a.m. Eastern.
I'm the smartest man alive. You guys are dumb.
Bennington at 2.
I live like a vampire, easily. The only problem is I don't have the build for it.
And the Jason Ellis Show every day at 5 p.m.
I'm on all the time, and I'm willing to do what it takes to get my show out there.
Listen to Faction Talk on demand anytime with the Sirius XM app.
Steve Jordan here. To kick off season 2 of Laying It Down, I just listen.
I always had that extra feeling that this record was going to rear its head again. It does bring me back to what fun we had making it.
Laying It Down with me, Steve Jordan, and my guest Keith Richards, celebrating the reissue of his solo debut album, Talk Is Cheap, airing throughout the week on Volume. Talk Is Cheap, unless it's with me and Keith.
On Volume, the only 24/7 talk channel about music.
Have you ever dreamed of owning your own business? With spring renovation season right around the corner, now is the time to own a top franchise in the $300 billion home improvement industry. Enhance Wood Refinishing is one of the fastest growing franchises and offers a unique, affordable solution for cabinet and floor refinishing. Our success is fueled in part by our long-standing contract with the leading national home improvement retailer. Approximately 1 in 4 franchisees generates revenue of over $600,000 a year. Text TIME to 797979 or visit enhancefranchise.com to learn more now. Text TIME to 797979. Enhance offers in-house financing, low startup costs, marketing assistance, and world-class support. Start in as little as 60 days. Prime territories are still available. Text TIME to 797979 or visit NHANCEfranchise.com and enhance your income and your life today. Message and data rates may apply.
Investments and securities involve the risk of loss. Ken Fisher, founder and executive chairman of Fisher Investments.
We don't sell annuities. We'll never sell annuities. Most annuities have nosebleed level fees, don't do what the customer thinks they do, have tremendous tax problems, are hard to get out of once you're in them, and are extremely confusing.
Don't let the sound of guaranteed income lead you to financial headache. Call now for your free report, Annuity Insights, and find out why legendary money manager Ken Fisher hates annuities. Call 1-800-396-3336 and see what you might be getting into.
Anything you want to do with annuities, there's a better way to do. If you have more than $500,000 to invest, talk to us.
Get your free report, Annuity Insights, and find out the 9 questions every annuity investor should ask. Call now. 1-800-396-3336. That's 1-800-396-3336.
Message and data rates may apply. Texting enrolls for recurring text messages.
Rick and Robin got Z quiet for snoring. Listen to their story.
Rick is really good at snoring. Very good. As soon as he hits the pillow, it's like... That's what it sounds like. One of the first nights that Rick's used the Z Quiet, my son said the next day, Dad, I didn't even hear you in my room.
And with the Z Quiet, I'm not being kicked and nudged and bumped and, told to be quiet and roll over.
Before the Z Quiet, not getting a restful night's sleep was pretty common for both of us. Waking up the next day, you're groggy, you're tired, you're grumpy. And with Z Quiet, it's the total opposite.
It's been great. Getting a restful night's sleep is great.
Z Quiet works for both men and women. Text GOAL to 246-810 or go to getzquiet.com. Try it risk-free for 30 days for just $9.95. Text GOAL to 246-810 or go to getzquiet.com.
Truck drivers, let 2019 be the year you join JB Hunt. This is Craig Harper, Chief Operations Officer. At JB Hunt, we're coming off a year where we added nearly 1,300 driving jobs, celebrated almost 200 drivers for millions of miles of safe driving, and hosted over 16,000 drivers and families for driver appreciation events, and we're looking forward to doing it all over again this year. To search openings near you, visit drivejbhunt.com. That's drivejbhunt.com.
Sirius XM, Channel 103. Faction Talk.
Your Sirius XM favorites just got supersized with over 100 extra music channels online and on the app. There's something for every mood, occasion, or activity. Like Pop 2K Workout, Highway Discovery, or Lithium's Top 100. Even more of the stuff you love just arrived. So open the SiriusXM app and start exploring over 100 extra music channels now.
Warning, if you're drowning in debt you can't afford, do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to pay it all back, because you don't. What the credit card companies don't want you to know is that there's actually a way to get debt-free without paying off your entire debt or going bankrupt. If you have $5,000 or more in credit card debt, you now have the right to let us settle that debt for a fraction of what you owe. For free information, call Credit Associates now. 1-800-900-8407. We'll even show you how much money you could save. If you can't afford to pay off all your debt, do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to. Call Credit Associates now for free information on how to get debt-free faster than you ever thought possible without debt consolidation or bankruptcy. We depend on your success and offer a guarantee, so there's no risk. For free information, call now. 1-800-900-8407. That's 1-800-900-8407. 1-800-900-8407.
Hey, babe, I'm home.
Hi.
I just heard this great deal on the radio, and it got me thinking.
Uh-oh. What was it?
It's adamandeve.com. You know they have all kinds of sexy adult items. Anyway, they'll give us 50% off and 10 free gifts if we use this offer code DOLL.
Okay, you got me curious.
Let's take a look. What about that?
Ooh, bet that would get things going.
Would you be game to try this?
Well, if you are, I am.
You would look amazing in that.
Do you think so?
Definitely. What did I say that offer code was?
You said doll.
Hey, we get free shipping and discreet packaging, too.
Awesome.
Okay, doll. Done and done.
Can't wait.
No, let's not.
That's 50% off almost any item plus 10 free gifts, including free shipping with offer code DOLL at adamandeve.com. That's DOLL at adamandeve.com.
His court vision was unmatched. He knew where every player was and got his teammate the ball with the perfect no-look pass at exactly the right time. Magic Johnson has taken that same vision into business and is now one of the most successful businessmen on the planet. Here's Magic.
For me, knowing what's going on with every aspect of my business is crucial. To do that, you need the right systems in place. You want to look at your finances and accounting and get real-time information. See what's going on with your customers and your employees, and get up to the minute sales and cash reports. Without that vision, you can only play defense instead of looking for your next win.
Introducing the #1 business management system. It's called NetSuite by Oracle. Go to netsuite.com/sports to learn more about Magic's secret to business success. You can also download a free guide called 7 Key Strategies to Grow Your Profits. That's netsuite.com/sports for your free guide and to see how Magic made magic.
Go to netsuite.com/sports.
Listen up, guys. Baggy pants and pirate arms aren't a good look. And dress shirts shouldn't fit, well, like a dress. Check out Peter Manning NYC and keep yourself looking sharp with proper fitting clothes. Peter Manning has developed a fresh line of apparel specifically designed for us guys of more modest height. Pants with shorter inseams and a proper rise, shirts you can wear untucked, and jackets that don't fit like a tent. Check out PeterManningNYC.com and discover great fit. You can use code FACTION for 20% off your order. That's PeterManningNYC.com and use code FACTION for 20% off.
We are back with more Best Of Jim Norton and Sam Roberts.
Jamie Johnston is here.
What's up, brother?
How you doing? Of course, frontman of Hatebreed, who are beginning their 25th anniversary tour. Tickets and VIP packages are available now at hatebreed.com.
Oh, thank you.
They're going to Philly, Massachusetts, New York, Toronto, Indiana, Detroit, Chicago, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, all over the place, man. Do you like touring?
I do.
Yeah.
This is the first tour in a long time I think I've been extra excited about, just because I had a break since December, and we get to play with pretty much all the bands that influenced us growing up. And we get to take them out on the tour. Obituaries on the first leg with Cro-Mags and Terror, who Frank, our guitar player, used to be in Terror before he joined Hatebreed, and then a band called Fit for an Autopsy, who are guys we knew from other bands. And then the second leg we have Madball, Agnostic Front, Prong, Obituaries on that leg again as well. So it's going to be amazing, and it's the first time we're on our own.
That's awesome.
in a while. So it's nice for the 25th anniversary to step it up.
Yeah. Do you are you married?
Basically, yes.
Okay. So you have a long-term girlfriend, whatever, but yeah. So
she's the best. Shout out to we had a great day yesterday. We had a great weekend, actually.
When you
she's listening.
I had
Smart, good answer. Well, we had a wonderful time. I went and saw our family. Couldn't have been happier.
I had a wonderful domestic weekend myself.
Did you?
Sometimes those domestic weekends, I really enjoyed it. We got a swing set put in the backyard. On Sunday morning, we went to like a birthday party with a bunch of 2-year-olds running around. I enjoyed myself, but not.
It sounds like a horrible weekend.
We were looking at houses because we're thinking about moving, so we went to a bunch of open houses.
Great stuff.
I'm like, I never do stuff like this, so it's like cool for me because I'm calling for repairs and stuff.
Dude, I thought the 2-year-old birthday party was going to be misery.
You're right.
2-year-olds, they know how to do it. I wish that normal people had birthday parties like this. It starts at 10:30 in the morning.
Sure.
Okay. It's an hour and a half.
Party.
You let the kids run around and wear themselves out, and then you're out the door at noon. There's an end time.
What time does it start?
10:30.
Oh, wow, that's early.
You're done by noon.
Yeah.
The kids are worn out. You bring the kid home. He takes a nap for 3 hours right away. It's like you didn't have to do any work in the morning.
What type of activities do they have?
It's like
They're a comedian?
Bounce house.
What? No, there's no comedian. Why, you trying to get booked for?
I'm just saying, it's a gig.
No, there's no comedian.
What do they have?
They have you could be a bounce
How about
house
those wiggles?
Yeah. There's like there's like a ball pit. You know, there's slides, balance beams that are 2 inches off the
just
ground.
a bunch of dumb entertainment.
It's not for it's for the 2-year-olds.
Oh.
One time I think my daughter was 2 or 3. We did one of those parties where you can have the animal trainer come with a bunch of different little animals
And whip the elephant in front of the children. You tie up a baby elephant and watch him beat it with a hook.
you can see which kids like can't handle it at all, because there's a couple that were just like trying to like squeeze one of the bunnies. It was not a good idea.
You got to watch that kid.
They had a turtle. The kid was like trying to like pull it apart. Like watch him. Keep an eye on him.
Kid's mechanically inclined. Yeah. Was to pull the little hand off and put it back on.
But the reason I ask about your situation is, after you go on tour and you're gone for, whatever length of time you're gone for, do you end up getting stuck? Like, if you want to do something and have fun, would your girlfriend go, no, you have to help me look for my earring? Like, would that be?
Yeah. We had a whole day where it was just about finding these blue leggings. And I was like, I thought my daughter might have took the blue leggings. She thought maybe I took them. I'm like, why would I be wearing blue leggings?
How old is your daughter?
20.
Oh.
But yeah, so I'm like, you go from playing to 50,000 people one day, and then you get off the plane, and the next day you're looking for blue leggings.
Because I'm worried about our guy, Handsome Rob. And I'm glad that you're here, Jamie, because I feel like you would have some wisdom for this. Because, Jim, you have a certain perspective because you're a single man.
Yeah.
But Jamie understands the domestic life and also the kind of rock and roll lifestyle.
A rock star, yeah.
Right. So, we're playing PUBG Mobile. We're on our phones where it was, all the guys from the show. And even though we texted, we were on a group text.
No one asked me to play.
That was by design.
I would love to play PUBG Mobile.
You're not even on the group text, dude.
I know.
There's a different group text with you on it.
I'm so happy I'm not on that. My phone would be vibrating. Who is it? This fucking video game shit.
We literally, Travis and I had a chain that we just kept sending Stone Cold gifs to make fun of Rob. It would have driven you crazy.
Yeah.
It was like 5 texts in a row of Stone Cold doing different things to make fun of Rob. Troy, we should have had you on it, actually, not in hindsight. But PUBG is like this battle royale type game where you're playing with 60 different people in this version that we play, and you're on a team of 4, and you have to fight each other and zombies, and you have guns. So you just run around killing each other. But the 4 of us are on a team together. And we were all playing. It was us, and the intern Reed was playing with us too. And we fucked up the first game. We all died early. So we were like, okay, let's play one more game. And Rob just went radio silent. He wasn't there anymore. So we were like, what happened? And then we found out that he had to leave. He couldn't play with the boys anymore because his new wife of 6 months. I'm a little worried about Rob because he's only been married for like 6 months. And his wife made him help her look for her earring.
Yeah. Why didn't you tell her to find it? It's her earring. She lost it. Why didn't you man up?
That was the
fuck's
question
wrong with you?
Travis and I both asked.
Like if I was dating someone and she like lost her Cialis and asked me to help.
She just asked for my help, and I was away this weekend. So yeah, I just.
Where were you?
Atlantic City.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
With the boys?
With the boys.
See, that's why.
He had his boys' weekend, so he couldn't come home and say, "Wait, it's a work thing, though. We're building office camaraderie."
Yeah, nope.
Did you fuck anyone down there?
No.
Just asking.
Do you think you would have tried to, Jim?
Oh yeah. I think I might got a little pussy in AC. I'm just asking.
I mean, that's if you're gonna try, that's where you go, right?
Absolutely. That's right. None?
No, none.
Not even like oral or anything?
Nope.
Oh man, that's a bummer.
You didn't get blown?
No.
Why?
I because I'm in a committed relationship with my wife.
You didn't hook up at all?
No.
Make
no, I
out?
did not. Nope.
What'd you do?
Nope. Gambled.
Okay.
Gambled NCAA March Madness stuff.
Where'd you stay?
We stayed Harrah's one night and then the Hard Rock.
Oh, okay. Share rooms?
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you just bet on the games at home?
Yeah, you can, but all my friends are degenerates, and they wanted to like go actually check out the sports booking places and everything like that. And it was fun. It was a good time.
Can I ask you a question about the Hard Rock?
Yeah.
Do you remember what they were playing in there?
Music wise?
Yeah. Was it hip hop and country?
No, it was more like alternative rock.
Okay.
Does that bother you when like the Hard Rock Cafe is not playing Hard Rock?
Well, no, I went on Twitter this morning and I saw D. Snyder was like, "Fuck the Hard Rock. They're only playing hip hop." And the Hard Rock responded. I guess I didn't really. I just passed by it real quick, but it said they said. I guess they kind of said like rappers and country stars are also like rock stars.
Well, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame set that precedent, right?
Yeah,
I guess so. But then there was other people like chiming in, like Tracy Guns from LA Guns and other rockers were like chiming in like that. You started this brand based on hard rock because it was a different lane. It was something different. And now because it's not as popular, you're needing to.
Yeah, but it's a business,
Once
right?
it becomes a casino, it's kind of hard. They just got to go and bring. They probably just want to bring all gamblers in, and they don't want them listening to music that they're not going to like. So they figure they mix it up. They get black guys, Latin guys, country fans.
Yeah.
They want everybody in there fucking gambling. They're trying to fuck you out of your kids' college tuition. So whatever they have to play to keep you in there.
D. Snyder wrote, rather than support the great new rock and roll that's out there, Hard Rock has caved under the pressure and caters to the flavor of the week. Can't wait to hear the new Ariana Grande next time I'm there.
Well, I was in there in the Vegas one not too long ago, and I thought it was a good playlist. Like they played Beastie Boys and Cypress Hill and Rage Against the Machine, and I mean you could say that's hip hop or that has rap influence or whatever,
but it's still rock.
Yeah, and they're rock stars, right? Like if you saw
Cypress Hill literally has a song called Rockstar.
Yeah. And then as far as like the pop punk or the punky stuff, like you'll hear Offspring and Blink-182, technically still rock stars, right?
Punk rock.
But they do stick to, I guess, more popular music at the other locations.
You're saying the Yin Yang Twins, not as much.
Yeah, not so much, or like, yeah, if you go in and it's someone new and popular like Travis Scott or something, you might be like, well, yeah, why did they need to play this?
Although I think Travis Scott would define himself as a rock star if you asked him.
Yeah. Didn't Motley Crue have like beef with him or something because he took their stage show out on tour or something?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
When he took their stage show, he did the same one?
Yeah,
meaning like the fireworks.
I'm sure the company probably rents it to everybody. I think Motley Crue also had beef with Kiss taking out a similar stage production, which Well, yeah, here we go. So what did
Travis Scott ripped off Motley Crue's roller coaster stunts. It says, according to TMZ, Travis Scott's lawyer has said Tommy didn't invent the concept of a roller coaster on stage, and there's no legal bias for his accusatory outburst. The actual creator and owner of the system has granted Travis all rights to use that equipment to complement his original stage design. So he's saying that I guess the Motley Crue was the first band to really popularize having a roller coaster on stage.
Okay.
Oh, is that what that is?
And Travis Scott was just like, I would like to do that.
What would they do? Would Tommy Lee be?
Yeah, he'd be playing in it.
Yeah, that's what back in the 80s. Like Tommy Lee used to do his drum solo
rapping in it
upside down.
Fuck that! I would never do that.
I think that's awesome.
It is, but I would be very nervous.
He goes completely upside down, strapped in.
I would say every band should just do their concerts upside down. I think it's quite a spectacle.
I don't know this guy's music per se, but I think that it's cool that he's upping his production because I know, like, just from playing a lot of these big festivals, some in the U.S., but mostly in Europe, that you can get to that headliner status if you're going to invest some of your guarantee into your own production. So if you're bringing in your own, like, big production pyro we've done and CO2 jets and kabuki backdrops and stuff, if you're bringing that in, a festival promoter is like, great, that's less we have to spend on production. We'll pay you more for you to handle it and your crew to set it up.
Would Tommy go upside down or would he just go?
No, Tommy would go upside down.
Maybe not on that one. I didn't see him going upside down on that one, but he definitely would.
He would be in like a clear box.
There you go. Oh yeah, he's upside down. Look.
But see, Parkway Drive does this too. Parkway Drive from Australia here, who are blowing up all over the world, a metal band. They do that too, and Tommy didn't like pick a fight with them.
How does he strap himself in? Just to the chair, or is there like
no? He just holds on tight.
Oh, good. His little feet are locked in.
Yeah.
But he got stuck up there. Did you see that? Ever see that?
That's great.
No.
Yeah, they got
nothing will make this stunt look dumber. Like if this stunt goes perfectly, it's awesome. If you get stuck up there immediately, well, why the fuck are you drumming upside down anyway? This is stupid.
Right. And I think Joey from Slipknot did it at one point too, and I don't think Tommy had beef with him then.
Sounds racially motivated.
So this is New Year's Eve 2015. Right. He gets stuck.
I think this is like one of their last shows on the farewell tour.
So Vince made it happen. He's like, hey, he tipped the guy out.
Just threw a stick.
He's
in
like,
the
keep
spokes.
him up there a little extra.
Oh wait a minute, this goes over the audience.
Oh yeah,
that's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's drumming over the audience.
They basically have roller coaster tracks that go up the ceiling of the arena and go over the entire audience.
He's not upside down there though.
But there's a spinning thing on it that allows you to go upside down.
Yeah.
There's an axle. There are axles on either side of this platform.
How much that must cost?
And the insurance.
Oh my God!
I mean, it's
to
probably
get someone to insure that.
It's probably in the thousands.
I would say even more.
Whoa! What happens if you drop a drumstick?
That's what. Well, you know what? They throw them out at people.
Probably got another one in your pocket.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. I mean, you don't see it coming. Comes down the
right in your eye. Yeah, or down your throat.
No,
it's like something out of Final Destination.
Tommy Lee throws a drumstick, and it's like Lord of the Flies.
I think
People
Ozzy
are
should
attacking each other for it.
Ozzy should be pissed at Motley Crue.
Yeah, they're doing our music.
Our? Who the fuck is our? Did you just say our music?
No, Ozzy would be saying they're doing our music.
Oh, I thought you were being Jim and saying taking possession of Ozzy's tunes.
I was being Ozzy.
Oh, okay.
But if you
there
were,
he goes spinning.
Yes, he spins.
If you were the guy that invented this technology or helped build this or whatever, your company helped build this, you wouldn't want it sitting in a storage room somewhere in L.A.
You
send it out with Travis Scott and rent it to him.
Motley Crue did their farewell tour. What are you going to do? Just save it in case they come out of retirement again?
Yeah.
You can't do it.
He's upside down.
Yes.
And the beef with Kiss, I think it was over like those things that like the electric company goes up and fixes the wires with. It was like you get in that and then you get up there and play.
It's basically a window washer thing.
Right.
Yeah.
And I guess Nikki was like, yeah, Gene took this idea from us or whatever. But they've always had beef. I don't think they've ever gone along.
Kiss and Motley Crue?
Yeah, and I don't know if you saw The Dirt, but in The Dirt, I think one of them, maybe it's Mick Mars, they go, yeah, Kiss sucks.
These guys are climbing up.
They even squeezed it in the movie.
Dig.
They got that dig in.
Yeah, so they have to have stagehands climb up the roller coaster things so they can free Tommy.
Yeah.
How are they freeing him? What are they doing?
Well, they probably just got to get the mechanics going.
So a buddy of mine does this rigging. He's done it for a bunch of events, and those guys get paid.
I'm sure. Are you kidding me?
That's a good gig. If you're not afraid of heights.
Dude, you can replace a drummer more easily than you can replace one of these guys that will climb up the rafters.
Yeah,
Nobody wants to do that gig.
Oh, there they go. They fixed it.
Yes. Well, he's not still there. It's 2015.
But he's like turning back upside down. They just went and loosened something.
He's pissed.
Well, yeah, because he looks like a fucking idiot. Are you kidding me?
Well, he still played.
Yeah, but he looks like a tool. His roller coaster got stuck.
Is there audio? Like, what's Vince doing during this part, or is it during the
He's like,
drum
look
solo?
how stupid Tommy looks.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's not like Vince can talk to the crowd during it.
Dude, it's cool to have a roller coaster come off your stage, but not if it's a rickety old rundown roller coaster that doesn't work. He looks like a tool.
Why are you turning upside down? You don't need to turn upside down.
No.
So what does it do? Does it go there and then go all the way back?
Tommy Lee is actually
so.
like a...
Or maybe it lands and they detach it, and then he has like a riser that rolls back.
I would imagine it lands.
They probably have a catwalk that everybody can walk out onto into the crowd.
Tommy Lee is like actually a really good drummer, right?
He's great.
Yeah, he's great.
So you would think that he could just play standing upright and everybody would still be impressed.
Yeah.
Like tricks like this are generally for people that aren't that good and
But
they need to spice it up.
He was doing that on the Girls tour. So
right, he was in that box that spun around.
Yeah, so I mean, what do you got to keep doing it?
I guess so. I mean, he's old. The fact that it's 2015 and Motley Crue is still touring,
That's pretty amazing.
That's a feat in and of itself.
And doing arenas.
They're alive. Do you know what Motley Crue did?
I mean, barely.
Barely is right.
Have you seen
But-
Vince Neil lately?
No.
Oh boy.
Look, he's not doing it.
Is he still stuck?
He is. He's
So-
asking the audience to show them his titties because
Well,
he's
you know
stuck
what?
up on his roller coaster.
I'll say this for Tommy Lee. He's fucking keeping it going.
What else are you gonna do?
What
He's
else are you gonna do?
Stuck on his drum roller coaster that doesn't need
Sitting
to be
there like
there.
an asshole.
He is, Troy.
I mean,
when you really break it down, he looks like a bit of an asshole. And it's ironic because right before this, he looked like the man.
It was the man. Yeah.
Do you know somebody is panicking right now? Fix it. Get it fixed.
You're fired.
When the
Somebody
roller
probably
coaster
got fired.
When the roller coaster was moving, it was like, oh my God, that might be the coolest drummer in the world. And then the minute it was stuck, oh, what a dickhead.
Look at this boob.
Look at this fool up there. Why is he up there?
Oh, is that the whole thing suspended above the audience? I know it's above the audience, but I thought it was grounded in something. It's suspended?
Yeah, it's on like wires or chains or something. Let's see.
There it
yeah,
goes.
yeah.
There
See
they
that?
go. They got
See
it.
that?
They
See
got
that?
it moving. Okay. Because now what do? You go back to playing the drums, and everybody's like, "Oh, that's that guy who got stuck in the on the roller coaster."
Yeah, and then you better trouble check it for the next date. But I mean,
I
you
honestly
got
think this was the last date of his tour.
Oh, it was.
New Year's
almost
Eve.
Positive, yeah.
I love that it's New Year's. I wish the countdown was happening as he was stuck. Like, we had a whole plan. Like,
I wasn't supposed to be upside down over road G.
I mean, they really went out with a bang, though. I mean, to up the production level like that
Yeah.
for the last tour. I mean, they could have
then
just
don't-
played with the standard sort of rigs and pocketed all that money.
That's a good point. They did spend a lot on the stage.
but don't get shitty that
that's
there's not
part one.
enough.
What's part two? How did he get out of there? How long was he stuck?
Don't be shitty about rappers not being rock stars, and then when rappers start to add rock star shit to their stage stuff, still be shitty. Like, what can Travis Scott do that rock stars won't be shitty to him?
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean?
I know.
Like, it's kind of shit. He can't get played at the Hard Rock. He can't have a roller coaster. He can't do anything.
But look at like Run DMC; they were accepted in the rock world. I mean, I don't know why it's less accepted now.
I'll tell you why it's less accepted now, because Run DMC were accepted in the rock world when rock was at 10 and rap was at 4. Now that rap's at 10 and rock is at 2, rock's like, fuck those guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But, you know, the kid that played Tommy Lee in the movie did a great job, Machine Gun Kelly, and we've played with him before, and he's come to our shows and hung out before, and he has like a full band. Like, we did a big festival in Austria with him, and he had a full band. Everybody was playing. He really, you know, he's not like one of these rappers that has all the bunch of tapes.
Right.
Like, he really performs. And so, like, I would say, yeah, play his music in the Hard Rock. He's a rock star.
But aren't there rock bands that have tapes going too?
Oh, yeah.
I guess
but I
are
got to
there?
be careful about that because I've gotten in trouble on other shows.
I was just watching footage of Kiss. I was watching 2019 footage of Kiss singing like wherever they were doing. And I'm like, Paul Stanley sounds fucking incredible.
No backing track?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying. I don't think so. But like a guy like that who's been singing since 1973.
Get up!
He said, dude, he sounds amazing live.
And was Gene Simmons over there going like, "Oh yeah"?
He certainly was being Gene Simmons.
Just dressed up as the Kool-Aid Man.
They were awesome.
Gene's voice, I gotta say, is incredible.
Is it?
Yeah, Gene's voice has never waned. I don't think he's ever lost it. And aren't they doing more songs?
Why would you do this to Vince Neil?
Oh God.
Troy is looking up current pictures of Vince Neil.
Someone
He
sent me
packed a few on. It's all
He was
right.
the hottest. He was like chicks.
Sex god.
Oh, he was a sex god. He just fucked everything.
It's hard not to be. It's hard not to eat well when you're Vince Neil. You go out there, everyone's buying you desserts. How do you not enjoy them?
He went from being a sex god to being a food god.
Yeah,
Tommy and Nikki are holding it together.
He just played.
He's like burgers, yeah.
He played. A friend of mine saw him
his
at
belly is so big.
big.
Mohegan, and they posted like a video of him. He played with a solo band, and
looking for that.
They posted a video of him on their Facebook, and the first comment was Vince Meal. It's terrible. It's terrible. But
I would say Vince Neil is even. He looks worse in that photo than Fat Axel.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
they put a few on.
Vince did.
It
Unfortunately.
happens.
Yeah, I mean, let him eat well, you know.
Who cares? As long as he sounds good. Axel, by the way,
You know, he still looks like $1 million.
incredible.
Bucks? Rob Zombie looks like he hasn't aged a day.
He's a
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
vegan. He probably does yoga. And
He
all
does
that
yoga
shit.
all the goddamn time.
Yeah.
He still sounds good. He's still the fucking man.
He's the man, and he can quietly pack or sell out sheds every summer with just him and one other act. So he'll do like him and Alice Cooper or him and Manson. I think they've done it multiple times, and it's huge. But going back to Kiss, there's a debate going on right now where like Sebastian Bach sides with Kiss, says they're not lip syncing. He sounds great. I think Jericho is also siding.
Oh, is that actually a thing?
Oh, it's a major thing.
Yeah, but Jericho is a huge Kiss fan. Is Sebastian Bach
So,
also
yes,
a huge
he is.
Kiss
Huge.
fan?
Yes.
Okay, so
I didn't know that was even a thing. I just thought it while I was watching.
No, it's a major debate right now on the internet, at least. And Nikki Sixx is claiming that they're playing the tape, and other people.
But Nikki Sixx doesn't like Kiss,
right? And
so we have biases going on here.
Well, I think Eddie Trunk has come out and said they were playing the tape.
Oh, Eddie is also anti-Kiss.
He is.
He's pro-Ace and pro-Peter. Very anti-Gene and Paul.
Okay, and he's saying that the ones that are playing the tape are the non-Ace and Peter Kiss. Those guys aren't touring with
Tommy and Eric, of course.
I'm not saying that Kiss is doing this, but I heard this from a friend who was working front of house for a band where the singer had lost his voice, but wanted to do like partial, I guess, performance of the set.
Sure.
And so they had a live recording. So it's
Doesn't sound like
It's
the
not
record.
the studio.
right.
Doesn't sound like a studio recording.
And they put that into their Pro Tools rig, and they ran that like in the big choruses with the melodies, and at some points during the set, and they still got to do the show. They didn't lose like a $300,000 guarantee. I'm not saying Kiss does this,
but
I'm
you
not-
can't really. You couldn't really tell.
Can we see
I
footage of where
watched-
they're saying it? The Kiss did. I literally just thought how great.
I
Nobody's
would
saying
rather
Kiss
a
did
band do that than
He's talking about a
cancel the
different
show.
band.
I know.
Oh, okay.
I would rather a band do that, cancel the show, and I don't knock a band for doing that and having that if they think like, look, you got bronchitis or you have some sort of issue, maybe you have a vocal cord tear towards the end of the tour, you don't want to blow out the rest of the dates, but you can get through.
People still want to see the band.
Yeah,
right. So, but I'm not saying they're doing that. But if they did, I wouldn't knock them.
and they use wigs obviously at this age, which is
No.
fine. I don't. But I'm saying I don't like Paul's. I like the older ones they used to have. Like in this, was he wearing a wig in the '70s? Well, during the Destroyer
think
tour,
so.
Paul's hair was fucking incredible. Not to sound like a homosexual, but
Right.
he had beautiful hair. He was they were doing like Cobo Hall and fucking and touring in '76, '77. Paul Stanley's hair is a sight to be seen.
Well, Paul
It was
wears
amazing.
He wears a merkin on his chest so that people think that he still has chest hair, right?
I
No, that's
think
true.
It's not. It's not a merkin.
Paul wouldn't do that.
I think Paul's moving from Reseda Park down to Baldwin Avenue by now. But if you catch what
I
I'm
understand.
throwing down,
I
but
understand.
I think he's I don't know.
Get up.
Maybe he's wearing extensions,
Extensions are extended to what?
which I wouldn't knock him for
He's
doing
putting
that
extensions in his wig.
either. Yeah, like they tie it in. I don't know.
No, you're right, because I'm sure he's losing his hair from the bottom, not from the top.
But
And he
Gene's-
can't move like he used to. But considering he's almost 70 years old, they
I
still
mean,
move pretty fucking good.
I can't hate on what he's doing up there in terms of him being 70.
And in those boots. And I think Gene, we have to blame for the man bun. I think he was the creator.
Yes, he was. Back in 74.
Yeah.
Dressed to Kill, that fucking homoerotic cover for Hotter Than Hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gene he did that over in the fucking, he got that, I think, from Tokyo. Because when they started doing their Tokyo tours, they'd have all these great photo shoots, and Gene's wearing a kimono, and he has a fucking bun. And I'm like, what a fucking great idea.
Is Gene wearing a wig now, too?
Oh, yeah.
Is he?
You wouldn't tell. No, yeah. No. I thought he became a stormtrooper.
Are you a big Kiss fan?
Oh, I love him.
I love them, and when I talk to other Kiss fans, they get bummed when I say that Animalize is my favorite Kiss album. What do you think, Jim?
I have to disagree. I think that Destroyer was a little better. Rock and Roll Over.
Oh, wow. Gene's gotten very, very lucky. A lot of his hair has actually come back over the years. It's actually grown back, which I didn't think was possible.
It's not a good way.
If you look at the first photo, Troy,
he looks better there.
You can see that looks like a hairline. Then the second photo right next to it, oh, very, very lucky. You got a lot of that hair back. That's actually...
Yeah, the wig looks pretty... Paul's is decent.
Mm-hmm.
But
I guess he fucks with the wig on then, Gene Simmons? Because it looked like in the sex tape.
It's not a good wig. I don't know why he wears that. Like he's Gene.
Maybe that's why in Gene's sex tape he was barely even moving. Because he didn't want to knock his wig off.
Then who?
Seagal.
I haven't seen his. Does he wear a wig?
I think Seagal's is all natural.
If you had to put them side by side, Gene's is better than Seagal's.
What's wrong with that? That's not bad.
It's natural. He's a stick-on goatee.
Is that a wig?
His facial hair color is about as convincing as Dennis Falcone's.
Yeah, no,
it's
a little dyed.
No, it's the Just for Men shampoo.
Regardless of all this controversy,
that's right.
The tickets are like killing it. And they're doing shirts for $50. This is the first time a rock band I think has ever done shirts for $50.
You talking about Kiss?
Yeah, and they're killing it.
I want to go see them one more time. I mean, again.
Me too.
How much does Hatebreed charge for shirts on tour?
Probably this tour, probably $20.
Dude, things are changing. Remember when I went with Troy to see Jay-Z on his last tour. And I think the t-shirts, if I'm remembering this right, I believe, take a guess at the t-shirts.
I would say $80.
Ding, ding, ding.
Really?
I believe the t-shirts were $80. And Troy, do you remember how much the hoodies were?
I would say 120, 150.
I think at least
for Jay-Z?
150, yeah. And I looked at Troy and I was like, fuck. And I went, can I get a hoodie and a t-shirt?
You asshole.
I want them both.
Yes, you did.
Come on,
Yeah.
you did?
Yes, I did.
Were they nice?
I mean, I can't wear them because I'm afraid I'm going to get something on them now.
Come on, you gotta wear them.
It's beige.
Who cares? You're ordering. The thing was
I got I went to Kanye's show and I got 2 t-shirts because the t-shirt actually had the concert date on the back. And these t-shirts, I mean,
but they're all gettable again. Like you're going to be able to.
I know, but it's the experience, and also with the Kanye stuff.
Then buy 2.
Kanye's one of the first people that they actually make bootlegs of his tour merchandise and they sell it in stores. Like it's not even like you can see it's not actual, but I mean, literally the t-shirt was it was a black t-shirt, one color. It just said St. Pablo on the front, screen print, and on the back it said September whatever, Madison Square Garden, general admission. I wasn't even sitting general admission.
And
I
you
was
still
like,
wanted it.
I was like, let me get a black t-shirt, a white t-shirt, let me get one of those green hoodies. And it probably sent me back like $300 or something.
And you don't wear them. That's what
Sometimes
you're crazy.
I wear
You should wear them because the worst. If you get something on them, they're not worth that much. Like the old ones from the '70s, you're not going to find most of these concert shirts that are like legitimately worth a lot. So just enjoy it.
Yeah, I guess. So the Kanye stuff will be
just enjoy.
And the
it.
line was so long. Weren't people missing the concerts so they can get the shirts?
It was a store that happened to have a concert going. The line was so... I cut the line. People were so pissed. Me and my buddy
I'm from
Joe.
Sirius Satellite Radio. It's okay, everybody.
No, I was like, my buddy Joe is like this Italian dude from the Bronx. And so he just is too busy not giving a fuck. And he has this like look. It's a death look where if he just looks at you, you're like, okay, I guess it's fine. So he was like, you want to get the merch? I'm like, yeah, but the line is so long. He's like, no, watch. And he literally just snuck in right at the front. We were third on line. And like I heard these like teenage girls behind me like mumbling to their mom, he wasn't standing there. He wasn't standing there. But nobody else said anything. So I was like, let me get, because they're going to sell out of mediums. Yeah. I was like, let me get 2 T. That's why, again, I was like, now I really got to buy.
How long was the line?
I mean, it was over an hour long. Easy.
And I bet you held it up too, because you're looking at the tag. You're like, is this 50-50? The polyester blend?
Yeah.
What is this?
Making sure.
$80 is not even 100% cotton?
Dude, the garden was empty for the first. We sat there for an hour waiting for Kanye to go on. No opening act. And it was empty the entire time. Not because nobody got there, but because everybody was at the merch booth. Everybody.
Did he have a tour program?
No.
Okay,
Not that I saw.
Because I was thinking about doing a program for this tour, and we got prices, and we started putting together a layout, and we at the final minute we just said, you know what, it's probably not worth it.
How much are they? How much is a tour program to make?
To produce a really nice one, you can in small quantities. Like I think we wanted to do it just for VIP, so I think we were going to do like 600 or 700, but we were going to make it like a 24-page one. I want to say they were $5 each. And
that's not bad.
No,
WWE does them for big shows, but it's like a big glossy and they charge I think $20 per program.
Because
like if Kanye did it, dude, he would figure out some way to make it limited, or there'd be some kind of art on it. I guarantee you, if Kanye West did a program, it would be $100.
Yeah, he would have crushed it, I think, too.
And I would have been like, I got to get one of those programs, too.
The old ones, if you ever see them online, some of the old ones are really cool. Like, I have an old Anthrax one that's amazing, and you can see what cities they played, what venues. A lot of the venues are no longer around. Motorhead did one that I have, which is the program is credible. And I did my other band, my Josta project, I did a tour with Anthrax and Killswitch, and they had a little one, maybe a 10-page one, but they all signed it, I think, for their VIPs, and I thought that was pretty cool. But I mean, I love old tour programs. I love them, dude. The old Ozzy one. My friend Chuck Palella in high school, for $6, he sold me like the 81 or 82 Diary of a Mad. It was all wrinkled, but he had it, and he sold it for $6. The Nice.
Diary of a Madman fucking tour book. I'm gonna go out now on eBay.
Yeah,
you can get them in perfect condition.
You can get a mint.
You still have it?
I'm somewhere. Go back, Troy. I'll show you which one it was. It was Ozzy with his hand over his, raised his hand.
Damn it.
Wait, how come you don't want to show me?
I do. Hang on.
Troy, how come
Troy,
Troy,
there's a little operator error happening.
it was that one at the top right.
Oh.
Top right.
Troy got distracted by
And that's in exactly the condition mine.
Yeah,
Wrinkled.
those are
Fucked up.
so cool too. With Ozzy's are especially cool because you can see what the solo band lineup was, what the dates were, the routing was. I mean, all that stuff's interesting to me. But yeah, I was wondering if modern bands or rappers or country people do.
Jay-Z
the tour
didn't
program.
have one. I don't remember the last time I went to a concert and they were selling programs.
I guess through the internet, the pictures are everywhere now. No one cares anymore. I don't know what it is.
Travis, and I guess if you're skewing to a younger demo, they're not used to having something physical like that. Like, they don't read magazines.
Maybe
anymore.
we could do like a digital program. Like
you buy the app.
Yeah, buy the
get a
app
QWERTY code on the back of your tickets. Yeah, man, I wouldn't be surprised if Travis Scott did, because Travis Scott is crushing in his merchandise. Yeah. His merchandise. He's another one that people are really going to it's a store that there happens to be a concert at.
Is he the one that has the inflatables? And I was like, oh, we got to do that.
He's got a big inflatable Travis Scott head, but he's also, he's got to deal with Nike. He's putting out his own Jordans.
Oh, wow.
It's insane what he's got going on.
See, more bands.
Look at that. That's the Travis Scott Jordan 1.
I actually like that.
It's going for $2,300 right now.
I don't like it that much. So stupid.
It's made in China for like $4 each.
I hope someone steps in liquid dog shit in that. Like the type that goes all the way to the roots of the grass when it's a fucking nice fresh. By the way,
there's going to be another release in April, I should say.
Totally to digress. Whatever, I hope this person is dead. Whoever got diarrhea on top of the toilet upstairs, fuck you. Flecks of diarrhea on the seat. How do you shit? How does that fucking happen?
Just because people work here doesn't mean they don't sometimes have diarrhea problems.
How do you get on top of the seat? You're sitting on it.
Splattered. Maybe it's a Hershey
No,
squirt.
your fucking ass is there. You can't, unless you're squatting like a fucking lady.
That's probably what happened. They probably didn't want to put their cheeks because
fucking asshole.
Yeah, you're blasting. You don't want the
Dude,
water splash back.
I had flecks of diarrhea on top of the toilet.
Did you sit on it anyway?
Right on it.
Ew.
But when you go on tour, you play venues that have nice toilets, right? You never have to go to like one of these dingy clubs where it's just you got to use the Gen Pop toilet.
Yeah, a few. Some of the comedy clubs don't have green room toilets. I don't shit. I'll shit in a hotel.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
the,
you never get like nervous before the show and gotta.
Oh, many times. I a lot of times have to fucking empty out right before the show. Just in a club, I can usually either go back in between shows or do it. You know, there's always a way to avoid it until I was at the Punchline in San Francisco many years ago, and I was sick and I was shitting like before and after my set. It was horrible because there was the audience bathroom.
But you made it.
I made it.
Yeah, I was in Indonesia and I ate something weird. And I was just shitting all day, just water. And then by the time the set time rolled around, there was still shit coming out. So we made like a box with a trash bag in it just in case, like during the set, I had to run back there and drop it and just fucking piss water out of my ass. But luckily I didn't have to. I just pinched so hard for that entire Indonesian festival and then got back to the hotel, and it took me weeks when I got home but that's one of my fears. Like, that's why this tour coming up, our 25th anniversary tour, it's great because every theater is nice, or if it's a big club, like Stage AE in Pittsburgh, where everybody can have their own dressing room and have a nice
toilet.
Yeah,
nice toilet experience.
I remember, in the early days, 95, 96, like that was a big deal. Like if you had a dressing room with your own toilet.
Mm-hmm.
And
have you had to shit in some gross toilets?
Oh yeah, hundreds. I mean, that in the early days of touring in a van and playing, even that was a step up. We were excited about that because we went from playing like American Legion halls and VFW halls and people's yards and people's basements. So when you actually get into the dump where people, a big band that we looked up to would go, oh, that place is a dump. And we'd be like, geez, that's an upgrade for us. It's a dump for this band.
Yeah.
But even now, I don't call any places a dump.
Good for you.
We're happy that we got to play there. But yeah, CB's toilet was notorious for being just fucking despicable.
Yeah,
I would
imagine.
I wonder if anyone in Kiss, if any of those guys have had, I'm sure they've had to shit while they had half a costume on.
Yeah, especially in the early days.
Those giant boots. You imagine having to shit in 7-inch heels and sit down and you're squatting. That's got to be a fucking horror show.
Yeah, they have to take it off like a onesie. They're just nude with giant boots on in the bathroom.
Yeah, big demon boots under the stall. You're like, oh, Gene is shitting.
Gene, are you shitting in there? Oh, yeah.
I wonder if any of the older bands like now just wear a diaper on stage, say fuck it.
Yeah.
Like I saw Bob Seger was going out and he looks great, sounds great. Not that Bob would have to wear a diaper, but someone in that age range.
What's he, 70?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Fergie pisses all over herself if she has to on stage. Why not?
It's so hot.
Just go for it.
I love when a girl pisses her pants. Is there anything better?
Yeah, lots of things. 100 things just came to mind.
Wow, wow, Fergie. No, that's just butt sweat.
No, she admitted it was piss.
Oh, really?
That's not butt sweat. It's in the front or down her thigh.
Yeah, butts are in the back.
So hot. She's just tinkling.
She admitted to peeing herself on stage. That's great.
She's badass. She's a rock star now, right?
She is. That's great.
I knew a guy in a hardcore band that would crowd surf like out into the audience to have people sing along with him, and he would pee while he was doing that.
Really?
Yeah. He doesn't want me to say who he is, but I've told that story on my podcast.
Wouldn't they see it all over his pants?
No, he would wear black pants. One time we were on tour with him.
That's great.
And their intro was running, and he's by the amps, and they're getting ready to walk out on stage, and he looks at me, and he starts downing this like bottle of water, and he's like, "Wait for it, bro. Wait for it." I'm like, "No."
That's awesome.
The singer from Dillinger, he was sick, and he climbed up on the PA stack, and he had the diarrhea shits.
No.
And he just shit all over the PA.
You can't do that.
Yeah, that's
true. Did he mean to, or it just came out?
No, he had to get rid of it. And he's like, fuck it, let's make a spectacle of it.
Yeah, if I have this, why waste it?
Exactly.
And you know what? Surprisingly enough, I think it like upped his cred because all of a sudden it was he was always a kind of, that band has kind of always been polarizing, right? As for some people just think it's just noise or whatever, but they rip and they're a great band. But that kind of made them like the G.G. Allen of the noise core world, right? Where it's like people are like, wow, that's fucking badass.
And he was doing crazy shit too. I mean, there's a video of him playing Tower or something in Times Square. Literally, as soon as they click off and start the song, he jumps in the crowd and just starts punching people in the head.
That's unnecessary.
Yeah.
Like they're fans of your music.
Yeah, why are you hating them?
That's terrible. That's what our fans want to do to us.
Oh, yeah. They want to shit on us and then bludgeon us to death.
Yeah, just jump into the studio and start punching us. By the way,
that's what Gigi would do.
Well, yeah, but Gigi also
wasn't the best music.
Yeah, it wasn't. He was probably making up for a little bit of ability.
No, he has a couple decent songs, but you know what's great if you ever have time to watch is go watch Gigi on I think it's Jerry Springer.
Oh yeah, I've watched that.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's great.
What a nut.
What did he die of?
I think he
Overdose
just
being a fucking maniac.
I think he just partied. There's a radio show. I think someone put it out as a cassette, but there's a radio show where he's like, come down, somebody with AIDS, come down and give me the AIDS. You can fuck me in the ass and give me the AIDS.
So he didn't even want it through a needle. He said, fuck me.
He wanted to get the fun way. Yeah.
People were calling in.
There's a great special on Showtime about Gigi Allen.
No way.
Yeah.
Is it still up on demand and stuff?
Yeah, and they
online?
talked to Merle Allen, and they talked to Gigi's mom, and he's so upset that that Gigi's kind of looked at as this nut job. But she's like, he was such a great kid, and
okay. Well, we didn't know him as a kid.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Merle,
Mom.
I used to correspond with Merle when I booked a little hardcore punk rock club. He would hit me up and send me like the package with like the 8x10 and the bio and the cassette for Murder Junkies. This is after Gigi had passed or whatever, but I used to correspond with him, and I remember people being like, do not book that show. Don't. And I'm like, well, they're not doing what Gigi did, but they're like, still, you don't want that at this venue. And then the club owner was like, no, we can't have Murder Junkies. Like, you got to, I think saying, oh, what band are you in? I say Hatebreed, and I get a look, but what if you're in the Murder Junkies?
So are they still playing?
I think they are, yeah. I think Merle's still kicking.
Okay.
And those Travis Scott Jordans, they're re-releasing them next month.
Oh, that's good news.
So hopefully, Did you watch? You did watch The Dirt over the weekend?
I did. I liked it.
Did you see it, Jim?
No. The Motley Crue movie?
Yeah.
I didn't even know it was on.
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
Yeah, it's out. It came out
Is it
Friday,
good?
I think. Yeah, I liked it. I enjoyed it. Everybody's like, oh, it's you can't please everyone. They were in a really hard position. It took them 17 years, I think, to make the movie, and they got to cram.
Why?
Because I think they didn't want to do some watered down, edited movie. I mean, I still felt like it was probably a little bit edited, but they addressed some hard stuff, right? They addressed Tommy Lee punching the girl.
Yep.
They addressed.
I mean, the opening scene is a girl squirting. So
Did they have any stuff about like rock and roll?
that was in it towards the middle.
They did.
There was 2 scenes. I'll tell you this, and I think Jeff Tremaine might have directed it. The guy from Jackass.
Yes,
I think he ended up being the director.
job. He did a great job.
It's on Netflix. I went in. I mean, I'm so soured on band biopics lately that I went in with my expectations in the toilet. Like, I turned it on to hate watch it and just be like, this is going to be dog shit, awful. And I found myself enjoying it. And I was like, this is actually really good. And I came out of it and I was like, it's a super fun movie. I really liked it. It's like a super high quality made for TV movie.
Right.
Like if they were doing a Motley Crue movie for VH1, except it was totally uncensored and they were going to do a really good job, that's what this movie would be, I think. It's not like a theater movie, but those are the expectations you should go in with it. And the more I thought about it, the more I said, you can't convince me that Bohemian Rhapsody is a better movie than The Dirt. I think The Dirt was probably better than Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah, on a fraction
I want to hear how
of the
they do
budget.
it for a fan. They did it for the fans, though. That's what I want to hear. How it was all for the fans.
You mean the way Queen
Shut
did
up.
it?
Ugh, the fucking worst.
If you want to see a good one that's not a feel-good band movie, see Lords of Chaos.
That's what I keep. Should I buy it on iTunes?
Yeah, and you guys should have Rory Culkin in here if you haven't yet.
We did not to promote this movie, but before we've had him in.
Okay,
For
yeah.
what? He came in for another movie.
Scream 4 or something, or what?
No, whatever he did in between the two.
Okay, because I just had him on my podcast, and I didn't expect it to be a huge episode, and it got crazy amounts of downloads, and I think people really reacted to this movie because he worked really hard at it. They did a great job, and it's super dark and fucked up. The staunch black metal fans are having a problem with it because they make Varg look really bad, but Varg, I mean, did kill Euronymous, so I was like, how do you make him look good? Yeah, they make him.
All right, then I'll probably see it this weekend. Then I've been watching. The trailer looks amazing, and everybody's saying good things. But if you like it, I'll
thought
take
it was
a look
great.
at
It's
it.
super dark and fucked up. It starts out kind of like The Dirt, where it's like this campy metalhead thing, and they're chugging beers and everything, and then they get into the real story.
I like that.
And it's nuts, and the scenes. I don't want to spoil anything,
Sure.
but some of the scenes I was like, whoa. And it's cool, the practical effects. There's not like CGI for some of the violent scenes.
Because I'll tell you what I have absolutely zero interest in seeing is that stupid Elton John movie they're making.
That looks great.
Come on.
I want to know about Captain Fantastic.
First of all, Elton John is overrated, and let's be honest, Elton John sucks.
No, he doesn't.
But
I disagree.
But
he does look like Dr. Octopus, and it's creepy and those fucking that hairdo.
Sam keeps saying I suck.
Hold on,
right,
though.
Elton.
You got to give him one thing. He has
What?
a smash hit that is so uplifting. It's I'm
Still Standing.
Yes, come on, that's a hit.
Look,
the Candle in the
Rocket
Wind
Man was a hit. Candle in the Wind was a hit.
Candle in the Wind makes me want to blow my brains out when it comes
I
on.
like
but-
I'm Still Standing, but that's only because my kid likes it. Anything he likes, I'm like, okay, that's good. But if he's not in the car, I'm not listening to I'm Still. Go
Don't
away.
breaking my heart. You don't like Philadelphia Freedom? You little commie mo. You don't
No.
like fucking Philadelphia Freedom?
No.
76?
Elton John sucks.
No, you're wrong. I don't like Crocodile Rock.
What is that? Don't play that.
Crocodile Rock?
Yeah.
That's a bad song.
You probably just don't know that it's called that. It's just super-
Crocodile Rock. It's a dumb song.
I remember.
Oh God, do we have volume here? Wait, I'm not wearing headphones.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not a huge.
Who's the modern version of Elton John? Is there like someone who rips on the piano and sings? Is anybody out like that?
I don't know. Probably Lady Gaga.
The song is okay, but I don't like the idea of Crocodile Rock. It should have anything else.
If you're asking who the modern version of Elton John was in the sense that he's very successful but sucks, I would say Adam Levine.
Oh no. How lucky is that? Ay, ay. Some Vaseline over it, let it dry. Put some Vaseline over it, let it dry. Yeah, there you go. Good point.
Where the fuck is my gun? Fuck!
When the topic of Anthony Cumia is brought up online, the discussion will inevitably focus on his downfall. These discussions take place primarily on the Opie and Anthony subreddit, which is shockingly active for a site devoted to a radio show that has been cancelled for almost 4 years. In recent years, however, the subreddit has grown openly hostile towards the members of the show it once loved. In particular, Anthony Cumia has become the target of their wrath. He is now mocked for his obsession with race and politics, as well as his violence against women and pedophilic behavior. In this series, we're going to explore where he went wrong. How was Anthony able to turn all but the most diehard sycophants against him? What dark secrets does he keep? And what were the events that turned him into the ghoulish figure he is today? Born on Long Island in 1961, Anthony was the middle child of 3. His parents were working-class Italian Americans. His mother, Rosemarie, worked as a go-go dancer, while his father, Joe Sr., worked odd jobs like welding and refilling the candy in vending machines. According to Anthony, his father was also a talented scammer and con man. Both of his parents drank heavily and fought constantly. During arguments, his father would throw things around the house, and common projectiles were bowls of spaghetti. A sensitive boy, Anthony would try to break up his parents' arguments by feigning stomach aches. Unfortunately, his parents' turbulent relationship will leave an indelible mark upon the psyche of the impressionable young boy.
Yo, your son just came in here and is asking me questions about, why don't you shut up, you F-face? Oh, give me a break, you bitch. Where's my whiskey? I saw a movie in school and I need help. This is because of you, Ro. This is why he cries all the time. It's your fault, Ro. Joe, he's sensitive because you're yelling all the time. Go yourself. What do you want to know? Yeah, I threw my into her, and you came out. That's all you need to know. Stop your crying. You're like a goddamn...
When his parents weren't fighting, they were usually too drunk or too hungover to make time for their son. As a child, Anthony would cry frequently and by his own account was a mama's boy. However, Ant's affection for his mother would sometimes express itself in unusual ways.
And my mom is all gussied up like a whore. You know, she has. Well, I used to like tell her, could you put your hair in pigtails and wear your go-go boots and a skirt? And so I would tell my mother this because all my friends would be, your mommy's so pretty. Like, I wouldn't think of it in any sexual way. I just liked how people would compliment my mommy. Oh my God. And meanwhile, she's dressed like a stripper.
Anthony's relationship with his father was no less complicated. In addition to being a virulent racist, his dad was also deeply homophobic. Joe Sr. was afraid that his son would become gay due to his perceived feminine tendencies, such as playing with a homemade puppet that Joe thought was a doll. And on one occasion, Anthony was potentially caught wearing his mother's shoes.
Or if he wants to play with a dolly or put, like, mommy's shoes on, you tell him that's what the shot's for.
Wait, Did you put mommy's shoes on?
No, I never put mommy's shoes on.
No?
And I never played with a dolly. It was a puppet.
Did you put mommy's shoes on?
Didn't have strings on it yet.
You put mommy's shoes
No, I never put mommy's shoes
Anthony
on.
put mommy's shoes on.
I never put mommy's shoes on.
Why would you bring it up like that?
Because it's something
you were
that,
sort of referring to yourself there, sir.
No, because it's something that
you
kids...
did the dolls thing without the strings.
No, because if I was saying you would do that to try to keep your child from being sexually confused, right? And all it would do is sexually confuse him.
Papa Kumi's fears were likely bolstered by young Anthony's many childhood emasculations. In what would become a running theme for Anthony, he was once beaten up by a neighborhood girl and forced to fight dirty by hitting her from behind with a tree branch. On another occasion, Anthony got into what we will generously call a fight with future NFL quarterback Boomer Esiason.
He figured, okay, he's small, he's going to take the first shot, so let's see what happens. And he kind of caught me off guard because he hit me right on the side of the head. And he was like, oh! I'm like, are you okay? He's like, I broke my arm. I think I broke my arm. You're the only guy that gets punched to the head and then looks at the guy, are you okay? And the thing about it is, I didn't know whether to hit him back or not. I feel sorry for him. And
A disappointment in his father's eyes, Anthony was regularly berated for being a pissy-eyed faggot. However, this didn't prevent Joe Sr. from taking group showers with his sons.
And I was petrified because he was standing under the water from the shower, and I was standing, me and my brother was standing on the back, like, wall where there wasn't water, and the water was running down his body. And you know how when you shower, the water runs off the head, it runs right off the head of your cock. And I kept, he was like, come here and I'll show you how to shampoo your hair and stuff. And I'm like, no, you're going pee-pee. Because it looked like he was taking a leak.
I thought he just made you and your brother take it. He got in with you.
Yeah, he was in the shower. And it's to a kid, because I'm like, you know, he's my dad. His cock looked like it was like 2 feet long.
After divorcing Anthony's mother, Joe Sr. moved to San Juan Capistrano to become a cowboy and work as a caretaker for a ranch owned by the city. Anthony and his older brother Joe Jr. soon followed their father out west. Their time in California would be characterized by extreme parental negligence, underage drinking, early sexual activity, and unrestricted access to firearms. Unsurprisingly, Joe Sr. was not a stable provider. Because the alcoholic patriarch spent most of his money on booze, it was common for there to be little or no food in the house. On one such occasion, Anthony stole quarters from his father's girlfriend to buy ice cream sandwiches.
But my father was like, you took the quarters, didn't you? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, why? And I told him, I said, I was starving. I bought something to eat. And he smacks me in the face and goes, no, you bought your goddamn fucking rockets with it, didn't you? And I'm like, I'm sitting there going, I'm being smacked because I was starving because you're drinking a tall boy instead of fucking buying some food.
Oh, my God.
Oh, it was horrid.
Despite his paternal delinquency, Joe Sr. was still paranoid that his son would become a homosexual. While not justified, Joe's fears may have been grounded in reality, as Anthony had a questionable experience in a tree fort with his friend Richard. With that in mind, Joe would put Anthony through so-called man training, which consisted mostly of leaving Anthony in the wilderness with a gun to fend for himself. Anthony and his friends were often allowed to roam the desert with dune buggies, rifles, and alcohol. The early exposure to guns and liquor would be profound experiences for Anthony and inspire lifelong passions. But in keeping with common sense, the mixture of firearms and rampant alcohol abuse would turn tragic.
And I had to watch a 10-year-old get shot by his father. His own father shot him. Charlie goes, I see a 10-year-old drop to his knees, and the blood shot out like a water fountain, straight out in a tube. I was looking going, that is so weird. It looks like a tube of red coming out of him. He turned white and fell flat on his face. And his father, now this guy was like a tough guy. I know this guy, Juan Reyes, is like this tough guy, goes, Charlie. He grabs him and he's shaking him. Now everyone's drunk and fucking like trying to figure out how we're going to get this kid 80 miles to Kingston, Arizona.
And when he means everyone's drunk, he means the kids as well.
Everyone. We were all drinking tequila.
Yeah.
Anthony's childhood trauma would not be limited to witnessing grown men accidentally shoot their own children. Perhaps fearing that his man training had failed, Joe Sr. paid a family friend named Buzz to take Anthony's virginity when he was 13 years old. As an adult, Anthony would look back on these events fondly. In reality, they probably had a profoundly negative effect on his sexual development.
Yeah. No, I had this fantasy when I was a kid that there was a naked woman about this big and totally nude, and with a little muff and little titties and everything. She was just a little tiny woman, and she was alive, And I would take her and just lick her and like put her in my mouth and then
That is
I would feel her whole body in my
I
mouth.
guarantee if they interviewed like a lot of serial killers, serial rapists, they would have a similar fantasy with
Yeah.
somebody
Think so?
they can control into that
I would
degree.
never like bite her head off or anything.
Eventually, the stagnation of his life in California became too much for Ant, and he wanted to return to Long Island to live with his mother. The Roe purchased plane tickets for her sons, which Joe Sr. somehow managed to exchange for bus tickets, pocketing the spare cash, of course. Anthony and Joe Jr. then spent the next 2 weeks traveling across the U.S., attempting to smuggle Thai stick and briefly being arrested under the suspicion that they were runaways. The brothers would ultimately make it back to Long Island, but scant information about this period in Anthony's life exists. Likely because they were painful times that Ant didn't wish to bring up on the radio. Having severe acne and being a small, unathletic boy, he was not especially popular. The only story from his high school days that Anthony would discuss at length was his failure to graduate. At one point, he was cutting class so frequently that there was no hope of passing, so he was forced to repeat his senior year. Even on his second attempt, Anthony would fail to graduate due to missing gym credits. In later years, Anthony recalled his failure to graduate as one of his biggest regrets, as he whiled away most of his 20s doing menial labor. Anthony would reference his time as a tin knocker with particular disdain.
You're just laying down on your back in insulation, hot and sweaty. It's sticking to you. And then you try to wear the mask so you don't have to breathe it in, but you're sweating so bad that you wind up being waterboarded with your own sweat because it's like fucking the mask gets soaked.
Did your bag and ass ever get fucking sopping wet?
Terribly. Terrible sweating and just... It was an awful
these were
job.
long days.
Yeah, it was an awful... you have to...
The long summers running air conditioning ducts through hot attics and defecating in spackle buckets were the major impetus to find a career in show business. By Ant's own admission, he wasn't an especially hard worker, though. He would often show up to work drunk or hungover, or skip work entirely in favor of heading to the bar. To supplement his tin-knocking career, he and his brother were also regularly involved in criminal pursuits. This was an occupation dating back to their early years when they set a fire in the neighborhood and blamed it on African American children. As adults, the pair would engage in various illegal activities, such as manufacturing and selling freebase cocaine, which they are adamant is totally not crack.
I smoked a little freebase, but not crack.
You smoked freebase?
Yeah.
Is that the same thing?
No, God, please. Crack is for those people.
Right.
It's made with ether, ammonia, water, and Coke. You mix it all together in the proper proportions. You dump in your Coke. You shake it up, and then it separates. And then you take the eyedropper, and you go into the layer that's just the ether. And you take some out, and you sprinkle it on a slate. And then you go, and it dries instantly and evaporates the ether, and what's left is this residue of white powder. You scrape that up, you throw it in your little pipe, you melt it into the screen, and then, woof. Jesus.
However, the drug dealing would not be the extent of Anthony and Joe's collaborative ventures. Desperate to escape the morass of menial labor, Anthony took lead vocalist duties in many of his brother's bands. Their efforts would remain largely unknown outside of the obscure Long Island dive bars. That was until a show on the WBAB radio station called The Nighttime Attitude decided to hold a contest for an O.J. Simpson song parody. The Kumiyas and their band Rotgut whipped up the now infamous Gun Electric Shock O.J. Brother Joe, as he would be called, then took a recording of the song to the WBAB station and refused to hand it over to anyone other than the host of The Nighttime Attitude, a man by the name of Greg Opie Hughes. The song proved highly popular with the listeners, prompting Opie to invite Joe and Anthony to perform the song live in studio.
I'm sitting in Los
Los Angeles jail, and that judge won't let me post my bail. Now this could be the end of me, 'cause California's got that death penalty. They gonna electric shock OJ, cook my behind like a chicken croquet. Ooh, they gonna electric shock OJ, toast my behind.
Opie was so impressed by Anthony's talent that he asked him to come in next week. And the rest, as they say, is history, but well-documented history. In the following episodes of this series, we will discuss the events in Cumia's life that he would rather we forget, if not the ones he has outright tried to hide. And that's it for this video. I know it's shorter than the other videos on the channel, but I wanted to change format slightly. I think 3 30-minute episodes was somewhat unwieldy, so I'm going to keep the episodes a little shorter and produce a few more, and hopefully more frequently. I also want to give a big thank you to everyone who watched the video, and a special thanks to anyone who decided to like it. If you did enjoy the video, please consider subscribing because I don't want you to miss what's coming next.
Where the fuck is my gun? Fuck!
And I had to watch a 10-year-old get shot by his father. His own father shot him.
Yeah, no, I had this fantasy when I was a kid that there was a naked woman about this big and totally nude, and I would take her and just lick her and like put her in my mouth. And
did you put mommy's shoes on?
No, I never put mommy's shoes on.
No?
And I never played with a dolly. It was a puppet. I smoked a little freebase.
After Anthony made multiple guest appearances on The Nighttime Attitude alongside Greg Opie Hughes, the pair decided to become a full-time radio duo. They were offered positions at a few different radio stations, but ultimately settled on WAAF, the only station that really rocks. While working at WAAF, the boys were mentored by radio pioneer Scorch of PFG-TV fame. With Scorch's guidance, Opie and Anthony were able to climb the murky banks of terrestrial radio. In addition to creating landmark bits like Sperm Bowl 96 and the bra bombing of WABU-TV, the duo also starred in the short-lived but well-received television series Real Rock TV.
Know what I noticed about you, dude? You got some, like, gnarly scabs on your knee, man. Check it out. You got to get on Real Rock TV. Yeah! Awesome. Awesome. These pads really do work.
Always eager to push the envelope, O and Dave found themselves in hot water in 1998 after orchestrating an April Fool's prank intended to make the listeners believe that Mayor Menino of Boston had been killed in a car accident. Menino's wife actually mistook the segment for a legitimate broadcast, and the event received significant media coverage. Even though O and Dave apologized for their actions, they were ultimately fired from WAAF. The boys then signed with WNEW and later brought stand-up comic Jim Norton on as a third mic. In the following years, Opie and Anthony would climb the rankings and their demographic and become syndicated in multiple markets. Since the boys found continued success by courting controversy, they wound up in a cycle of pushing boundaries and being punished for their actions. One such incident involved a bus carrying topless women through the streets of New York, for which Jim Norton, Lewis Black, and several others were arrested. In August 2002, they again went too far by staging a bit where a couple allegedly had sex in a cathedral.
And tonight we begin with a story many are calling disgusting, despicable. A couple having sex inside of one of New York's most sacred shrines, St. Patrick's Cathedral. And worse than that, why they did it. Sources say it was a radio stunt. Judy Chavez is live at St. Pat's with the story for us this evening. Judy?
Good evening, Brenda. Today is a holy day. It's the Feast of the Assumption of the Blessed Virgin Mary. And tonight, many parishioners are in disbelief that a shameful stunt would take place here.
The show was subsequently suspended, but instead of releasing the host, Infinity chose to pay the rest of their contract to keep them from signing with a competitor. After the 2-year hiatus imposed by Infinity, the show signed with XM Satellite Radio, which was exempt from FCC regulations. The period from the mid to late 2000s is considered by many fans to be the golden age of Opie and Anthony. This was made possible in large part due to regular appearances by an assorted group of stand-up comics known for trading vicious barbs at the infamous back table of the Comedy Cellar. This era also spawned perhaps the most notorious recurring bit in the show's history. Denigrating other radio hosts was a well-established tradition of the show, attested to by the Maxwell saga, the many beatings of John and Jeff, and the truly heinous attacks on Terry Clifford of the B Morning Coffee Club. As the years went by, this concept evolved into an extravaganza called Jocktober, where for the entire month of October, the hosts would devote a segment of the broadcast to breaking down other radio shows that they deemed to be of lower stock. Over time, Jocktober mutated into a kind of augmented reality game. While the hosts attacked a show on air, the fans would attack their Facebook page. The ultimate goal being to post enough offensive material that the radio station was forced to make the page private or otherwise shut it down.
Somebody posted pictures of what the fuck is that?
Hulk Hogan?
Hulk Hogan knocking down the World Trade Center. It's photos from 9/11. What does this have to do with anything? But it's Hulk Hogan giving a big boot instead of planes crashing the towers.
I like the one where
he's
doing his pose in the rubble. That's hilarious.
As if he defeated the World Trade Center.
Are you listening to the havoc that the Hulk is wreaking? He's got the hand behind the ear cock as he's standing in the rubble at Ground Zero, doing
I like the kick one the best.
The pose. Yeah, that's right.
He's about to hit the World Trade Center with a steel chair. And this is on their Facebook page.
Although Opie and Anthony were still producing classic bits even in their final months, the quality of the show was declining as it entered the early 2010s. While there were many contributing factors, the most relevant to this documentary was the increasing amount of time devoted to racial discussions and arguments. It's not entirely clear what caused Anthony's racism to intensify over the years, but the election of Barack Obama is generally considered to be the tipping point. Divining an exact reason for the shift would be purely speculative, but there is one noticeable change that occurs during this time period. Up until this point, Anthony's fear of black people was primarily concerned with home invasions and muggings. However unlikely these occurrences might be for a wealthy man living in an upscale neighborhood, they were at least conceivably grounded in reality. Strangely though, during the 2008 election, Anthony's fear of black people seemed to become a fully fledged existential crisis.
This is pretty much the end of the country as we know it. That there's this whole thing, that clip of that woman has been haunting me.
Which clip?
The one with the gas and the mortgage.
Well, she's just trying
I hear it in my sleep.
She's just trying to say that she'll be able to, afford gas and afford paying her mortgage.
No, she didn't say it like that.
It's a new day for America. It's a new day for the world.
Yeah, I think that's what
he's going to fix the world.
Obama,
this guy.
And then another clip I heard him say. He was campaigning and he goes, "Let's get out and vote. Let's change the world." And I'm like, what? He's changing the world now.
Anthony described the future with a sense of impending doom and appeared to believe he was witnessing the dawn of a new world order.
There's a certain segment of society that is seeing this as a hunting license on white people. I've seen it.
What's going to happen?
I go.
What's going to happen?
What's going to happen? I don't know.
You don't know.
What do you think? I'm Kreskin?
That's what's keeping you up at night. You don't know. You don't know what's going to happen, but you know something's going to happen.
Because I'm looking. I'm seeing what both sides are up to.
If President Obama's election was a tipping point for Ant, the point of no return would be the fatal shooting of Trayvon Martin. Since Anthony openly fantasized about killing black men in self-defense, It should be no surprise what side he took on an incident where another ethnically ambiguous gun advocate killed a black teenager. Countless hours of the show were devoted to the biased media coverage of Trayvon's death, as well as the trial of George Zimmerman. While doing research for this specific part of the video, I listened to hours of Anthony's racist rants, and it's difficult to portray how unbearable they are. Not because of the racism itself, but because of the utter lack of humor. There's nothing funny about Anthony pig-headedly shouting over callers about crime statistics for an hour and a half.
And because you don't agree with what I'm saying doesn't mean I'm spewing when I'm talking. I feel that people like Reverend Al spew. And I feel a lot of black leadership is spewing. I feel that people that use the race card are spewing. You don't undersell what I'm saying by calling it spew, motherfucker.
Anthony, you use the race card more than anybody on
Bullshit, I use the fact card, you cocksucker. It's the fact card. I base my argument on the fact.
Your facts are very simplistic.
They're facts, you fucking asshole.
Oh, give me a break.
They are facts. 13% of the population, 50% of the prison population. Why? Don't blame Whitey. Don't blame Whitey!
Sorry for you. You are such a fucking stupid asshole.
There you go. What's the matter? Reality fucking hurts, don't it? What's the matter? You can't get 100% of the white people to kowtow to you? There's still a few of us left. There's still a few of us left. There's still a few of us left. You're not going to get 100% of Whitey to sit there with their guilt kissing your black ass. Fuck you and fuck your mother.
As we dig deeper into this series, we're going to use the term pattern of behavior quite frequently. One pattern you will notice is that Anthony doubles down on his mistakes instead of reevaluating his position or admitting he might have been wrong. In this particular case, even when it became abundantly clear that Zimmerman was a problem, Anthony doubled down on defending him.
George. It's hard to defend George.
Oh.
Fucking.
Well, I go on Twitter and just annoy the shit out of people. I'm like, well, at least he got rid of a thug before he went to jail.
Yeah, but Trayvon was just a fucking...
No, he was a thug.
Nah,
Trayvon was a fucking thug.
He'd never been arrested.
It doesn't matter.
Most thugs were arrested by 17.
No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't necessarily mean there are plenty of first-timers that have killed people. Fuck that. He punched him in the face. That's a fact. Whether George is an asshole or not, he's punching him in the face, and he got himself fucking killed. He had a record of fighting. You know, he hadn't had an arrest record, but he has the record of fighting in school, beating up people, drugs, fucking stolen property.
But look at,
fuck him. Goodbye.
Look at Zimmerman's. Look what he's done.
Ant's obsession with race was so inexhaustible that many of the fans who are legitimately racist themselves grew tired of it. The situation became bad enough that Opie started playing Candy Crush over Anthony's rants.
But there is a virtual holocaust of black-on-white crime going on that is not reported. A virtual holocaust of black-on-white crime that is not being reported, sir.
Yeah, but
black mob violence.
Coming from everybody knows you're
Oh, is that it? Candy Crush?
Yeah, what?
Oh, okay.
Well, as your co-star, I just don't get involved. I just know when you go down this road, it's an hour I don't have to worry about.
That's true.
It's
People are laughing their ass off at the sound. It comes out of nowhere.
Level 147, by the way, for the people keeping track at home.
I know we have black listeners, but that's not going to change. My opinions aren't going to change based on the fact that there are black listeners. Like it or lump it. Like it or lump it. America, lump it or leave it.
No one wants to hear you, little.
No, millions want to hear it. Millions.
I mean, come on. You think? I mean, it's so fucking.
I really miss Patrice.
In the early morning hours of July 2nd, 2014, Anthony Cumia was taking pictures in Times Square when he was accosted by an angry black woman who was caught in one of his photos. Anthony calmly and soberly explained that he didn't do anything wrong. He's a good boy who was simply exercising his lifelong passion of industrial photography. I mean, look at that scaffolding. It's obviously the focal point of this image. He tried to tell her that she just happened to walk into frame when he was taking the picture, but according to Anthony, she wasn't listening to his well-reasoned argument. The mystery woman then punched Anthony 10 times, while an onlooking group of black people heckled him. Instead of defending himself or even calling the police, Anthony enlisted the aid of an even higher authority, Twitter, where he posted a series of tweets that were, shall we say, racial in nature. Anthony refused to apologize for his tweets and was fired by SiriusXM. In the aftermath, fans were furious. They questioned why SiriusXM would choose to fire Anthony over his tweets when they had no problem allowing him to use their platform to make statements that were equally, or perhaps even more racist.
But from the research I've done and everything I've learned over the years, the best assessment I can make of the situation is, based on various areas on the globe, some people have more advantages than others based on intelligence, others based on strength. That's the way it is. Why the fuck is that such an outrageous, outlandish thing to say when we accept that in every other aspect of life on this earth, except in human beings and ourselves, that there could actually be certain groups of people that are less advanced in intelligence and others that are less advanced in physical prowess than others. Others have better fucking eyesight. I don't know. But why do we have to be so quiet and tiptoe around a theory that might actually be true when it's true in every other aspect of life on this fucking planet?
A month after being fired from SiriusXM, Anthony launched his own subscription-based program, The Anthony Cumia Show. Anthony was able to get his show off the ground so quickly because he already possessed much of the necessary equipment, which he previously used to film a hobby show, Live from the Compound. That being said, he would later admit the idea of running his show petrified him, so he brought several people on board to assist production. One of those individuals was Anthony's longtime friend, Keith the Cop Maresca, who assumed the duty of program director and executive producer. You may be wondering why Anthony would make an ex-cop program director and executive producer of his media network. Fan outlook at the time was optimistic, as the boys had frequently discussed leaving SiriusXM to start their own show, despite the difficulty of bringing podcasting equipment into the city. The frustration stemmed from creative differences with management that were rarely mentioned on air. Management put the kibosh on several of the show's more ambitious ideas and implemented rules that limited what they could do in studio, such as a no penetration rule. There was also a belief that Opie and Jim would not renew their contracts with SiriusXM in favor of joining their longtime co-host. Even though Opie had grown unpopular with the fans, who didn't appreciate his ability to masterfully steer the direction of the show, it was still expected that he would stand with Anthony on principle. Ultimately, Opie and Jim decided to stick with the more stable option of signing with SiriusXM, and Anthony was left to do his own show alone. However, bigger issues with the Anthony Cumia show would become apparent in the ensuing months. Looking back to the comments about the show from this period in time, a common complaint was the lack of guests. Anthony's talent and comedic ability are undeniable. Many hilarious comedians have called him one of the funniest people they know, and his timing and lightning-fast delivery made him a treat to listen to when he was in the groove.
Well, I was diagnosed with AHBD. That's difficult.
What's that?
Adorable, huggable boy disorder.
Oh, so you're cured.
Yes.
Oh, Jimmy.
Oh, is that fucking quick?
Unfortunately, much of his comedic ability depended upon being able to sit back and play off of other funny individuals. Jim Norton and other comedians would occasionally appear on Anthony's show, and these episodes were well received by the fans. However, episodes without guests were considered to be of lesser quality, if not boring. Anthony attributed the lack of guests to the fact that he broadcasted the show from his basement and thought a studio in the city would help alleviate the problem. While this may have been true to an extent, the situation probably wasn't helped by Anthony's decision to go on a white nationalist radio show, further cementing his status as a pariah in the entertainment industry.
And then when you look back at the history of this country, the achievements that white males have made in this country is astounding. And regardless of what diversity might bring to this country, you can't discount what white men have done for this country. When you watch any of the footage of any of the Apollo programs over the years, and you look at the control room of Mission Control, what do you see? Do you see diversity there? Honestly, let's be honest. You're seeing white males smoking cigarettes, drinking coffee at the console, and putting people on the moon. How is this a horrible thing? How is this something to look at and say, we need to change this by injecting people that do not pay attention to the laws of this country, do not assimilate to the cultures, do not work and contribute to this nation? Why is this a good thing to then add these people into the formula to make this a great country? Diversity for the sense of just diversity is not a good thing.
It didn't take long for the racial and political talk to saturate Ant's own show, even though he initially claimed to be easing up on the topic.
Of course, the second part of the title of your book, Blacks versus Niggers.
Yeah.
Diversity for the sense of just diversity is not a good thing.
It didn't take long for the racial and political talk to saturate Ant's own show, even though he initially claimed to be easing up on the topic.
Of course, the second part of the title of your book, Blacks versus Niggers.
Yes.
Now, obviously a provocative title. Did you give any thought to it as far as how hard it would be to promote, especially in this day and age of political correctness?
Anthony's direction as a solo host was questionable, as was the emphasis put on a visual element. Since most fans of Opie and Anthony were accustomed to listening to a radio show, one could understand the annoyance over adopting a visual format with bits that didn't translate well to audio. Despite wanting to support Anthony, it took less than a year for fans to begin unsubscribing in significant numbers. For a brief period of time, though, none of that would matter. Anthony was about to do something the fans had been waiting years for. Following Anthony's firing from SiriusXM, Opie made a variety of comments about their careers and relationship. The basic synopsis being that he and Anthony had not spoken since Anthony was fired. In fact, they had barely spoken to each other off-air in years. He would place the blame for their falling out on the fact that they had stopped socializing after Anthony's divorce. He also felt the show was coming to an end, regardless of Anthony's firing, and that he was ready to try something new either way.
You passive aggressively threw that I wasn't interested in doing the show for some set period of time that you fucking did.
Because you said people have noticed, and
Who noticed? Who noticed?
I'm just saying.
Give me a fucking name.
I'm just saying it works both ways.
Give me a name. Who noticed?
It works both ways.
Who noticed? I went through a period where I didn't want to do the show.
works
Or was
both
that
ways.
Opie's interpretation during one
works
of your
both
miserable
ways.
phases that I didn't want to do the fucking show?
Don't worry, dude. This will be over soon. You go your way, I go mine. Trust
See,
me.
that would.
Trust me.
Oh, I could bring up the fact that
Trust
you've
me.
mentioned that 80 fucking times
'cause-
in the past
'cause
couple of
that's-
months.
'cause-
that people have noticed too.
that's-
Hey, how come Opie keeps bringing that up?
Because that's really going to happen.
Why?
Because it's just time.
Why is it time?
Because we've done everything.
Have you done everything?
Great radio. But it's time maybe to.
Man, fuck. So annoying.
Over soon. You go your way, I go mine. Trust
See,
me.
that would.
Trust me.
Oh, I could bring up the fact that
Trust
you've
me.
mentioned that 80 fucking
'Cause
times
it's- 'cause-
in the past
'cause
couple of
that's-
months.
'cause-
That people have noticed too.
Because
Hey, how come Opie keeps bringing that
Because
up?
that's really going to happen.
Why?
Because it's just time.
Why is it time?
Because we've done everything.
Have we done
great
everything?
radio. But it's time maybe to move on to some new challenges.
Is it?
Yes.
Dude. Holy shit, that's so annoying. Like, really? Hang on, Thor. Hang on. You have to wait. Where you parking at? What are you parking at? Yeah, man. Go.
See, that would. Oh,
Trust me.
oh, I could bring up the fact that
Trust
you've
me.
mentioned that 80 fucking
'Cause
times in the past couple of
that's-
months. Because that people have noticed too. Hey, how come Opie keeps bringing that up?
Because that's really going to happen.
Why?
Because it's just time.
Why is it time?
Because we've done everything.
We've done everything?
Great radio. But it's time maybe to move on to some new challenges.
Is it?
Yes. Yeah, I think so.
Well, you brought it up enough times.
I think so.
Perhaps you want to.
And it has nothing to do with.
I actually enjoy coming in here and doing a
Well,
show on a daily basis.
We've done it for 14 years. It might be time to move on before it gets ugly. I don't want to get ugly with you. I got a great living because of doing radio with you.
Sure.
Absolutely. And you got a great living for doing radio with me.
Of course. Not denying it.
So I'd rather like just split the show or something than start getting all ugly.
When asked why he had yet to do Anthony's show, Opie explained that he had reached out to his former partner and suggested they have a beer or dinner to resolve their personal problems. Opie would further explain his position in a segment where Larry King joined the Opie with Jim Norton show. When Opie said that he would go on Anthony's show when the time was right, Larry accused him of copping out.
Opie, do you guest on Anthony's show?
Not yet. I have not.
Wow. Why not?
No real reason. I just, when the time's right, I will.
You copping out.
No, I'm not copping out, I swear.
Yeah, you are.
No.
Yeah, you are.
No, I'm not.
Long Island's a short ride, he said.
Yeah, it is. I'll get there.
Jim, have you been on the show?
A few times.
I have, yeah. Jim's not copping out.
Opie defended himself against accusations that he didn't fight for Anthony by saying that he lacked the power at SiriusXM. But after a few more questions, Larry got him to admit that he did in fact have the clout with management to save Cumia's job.
In other words, he's saying if you had said, he goes, I go,
we didn't
you
have-
would have think they sent you?
We didn't have weight. We didn't have weight, sir.
They would have said, take care.
They absolutely would have said bye.
Really?
Yeah. Yes.
Without a doubt.
Absolutely. They were fucking not happy. I got an earful of shit. Jimmy, I'm not sure if you
I only talked to Scott once.
I got an earful of shit, yelling and screaming and such, and then I'm in a position. Well, what the fuck is next here? Because I knew I wouldn't mind going and doing something else.
Jackie Gleason once said.
Thanks, Bob.
Thank you. Jackie Gleason once said, if you think you have clout, you have clout. If you think you don't have clout, even if you have clout, you don't have clout.
We have a little clout.
So it's all in perception.
We have clout now because we were able to reinvent ourselves, me and Jimmy, and keep this thing going. And they're pretty happy with the results so far, Larry.
So you could go in there and say, I want Anthony back.
I don't know.
What do you mean, I don't know?
I don't know.
You have clout?
That's the answer. Oh, just like that, because I have clout, then I could do that.
That's what clout is.
All right. I got clout then, I guess.
In a video titled Walking on Greg Shells, Anthony would not only respond to Greg's comments, but give his personal opinion on other behind-the-scenes events that caused the rift between them. Anthony agreed that they had not spoken off-air for years, and confirmed that it was due to his divorce, stating that during the WNEW days, he and his wife Jennifer were very good friends with Opie and his girlfriend Sandy. However, things went south when Anthony separated from Jennifer and started dating a woman named Melinda.
His girlfriend still was friends with my ex-wife, which, put him in a weird position.
Good boy.
I get that. But the way my girlfriend was then treated was abominable.
No,
I
you
mean,
don't get
like
treated so
a
personally.
second-class citizen piece of shit. And it was directly disrespectful to me at that time. And I wasn't going to have it. But I took it for the preservation of the show. And you'll notice this is a thing that weaves its way through this story until July of last year. Not rocking the boat. Not fucking saying anything. As they call it on Reddit, I don't know who brought this up or made it up, but it is one of the most brilliant things I've ever heard. Walking on Greg Shells. This is a common denominator that you will see and hear about for our entire tenure at the Opie and Anthony show. So I knew my girlfriend was being disrespected. I didn't go after him balls out because I knew that would have caused a problem with the show. which makes you hate yourself. This is another common factor with the show. There's nothing worse than you feeling impotent and feeling like you are compromising and being shit on, but you can't do anything about it. Something's being held over your head that you dare not say anything.
According to Anthony, it was also absolutely untrue that he would have wanted to move on if he hadn't been fired. Anthony said he would have signed a 5-year deal, and that hosting the Opie and Anthony show was a dream job. He expressed doubt that Opie did everything in his power to keep Anthony at SiriusXM, and if the situation had been reversed, Anthony would have threatened to leave. Anthony also took this opportunity to talk about Opie's negotiating tactics, saying he never felt more stressed than during the contract negotiations. Opie would hold out into the last minute, which left Anthony as well as show staff in the dark about his intentions. Anthony theorized that Opie's tactics stem from an overinflated self-worth created during the days when they pitted Clear Channel against Infinity, who paid them handsomely to work at WNEW instead of competing with Howard Stern. However, it was pointless to use hardball tactics against SiriusXM when they knew there was no other horse in the race. Throughout the video, Anthony detailed the problems Opie created behind the scenes. His mood dictated the mood of the show, and if Opie made a mistake, it was best to keep your head down and ignore it, lest you incur the wrath of the destroyer. Additionally, Anthony claimed that Opie lacked people skills in general, and that everyone who left the show later bashed him. The combination of all these problems made working with Opie a living anxiety attack.
I've read so many tweets over this weekend since this whole thing started. Hey, Anthony, why don't one of you guys just pick up the phone and sort it out? This isn't a pick up the phone and sort it out thing. This isn't something that just popped up over the weekend. This is years in the making.
The following day, a clearly emotional Opie addressed the Greg Show's video live on his own show. He reinforced statements made in the past, such as his belief that the show was coming to an end either way. He maintained that he fought for Anthony, but admitted it was convenient for his own plans that Anthony was fired. Opie would go on to give his side of the story in regards to contract negotiations and behind-the-scenes interactions with the company. According to Opie, he never wanted to be the boss, but early in their career the responsibility fell on him. Anthony knew nothing about the radio business, and Opie had to handle everything at first. He admitted his negotiating tactic was silly, but thought they were worth more than SiriusXM offered. Anthony wanted to sign long contracts and wasn't involved in negotiations, preferring to leave the building as soon as the show was over. If anyone else had a problem with Opie's strategy, they never showed it because every member of the staff stayed with Opie and Jim after Anthony was fired. Opie would also enunciate the behind-the-scenes issues the company had with Ant.
They were also very, very annoyed with the fact that the race rants were going on day after day after day. And they were worried that someone out there, a blogger, was going to take a soundbite of what Anthony said, put it online, and fucking it would be blown out of proportion. That was another thing that was told to Bob, our agent. Now, I don't have a relationship with Anthony, so I have no idea if Bob ever talked to Anthony about that. I'm not going to sit here and say Bob absolutely did. I have no idea. But they were deeply concerned about the direction of the show and the amount of race rants that were going on this fucking show, period. And Ant knows that somehow, some way. So if he wants to openly talk about his firing, maybe he should take some kind of responsibility and discuss everything that was going on behind the scenes before it led to his firing.
Management was also angry that Anthony was missing so many days, especially when it was last minute. Allegedly, SiriusXM even questioned whether Anthony had a drinking problem. Opie's inability to communicate with Anthony was another issue cited continually throughout the segment. The only time they spoke to each other off-air was when they had an argument and were forced to hash things out. After trying to resolve their differences, they would start talking about spending time together again.
This breaks my heart, to be honest with you. And then I would say to Anthony, I go, man, it would be really cool if, you saw where I lived. He goes, yeah, I would really like that. That would be really nice. So I would go, Ed, it would be really nice, if you come over and, check out where I live. Here is a fact. Anthony has no fucking idea where I even live. He's never been to my house, okay? I've been in my new house for 8 years. He's never fucking seen my house. I have 2 kids. I bring this up only because he's questioning my character as a human being. I got 2 kids. He's never met my daughter. He wouldn't know what she fucking looked like if she crawled right by his fucking face. I have a son that is 5 years old. He met him once. The only reason he met my son was because my wife came in here once to meet me so we could go to lunch after the fucking radio show. Okay? This is the type of shit I was dealing with behind the fucking scenes.
Opie also recalled the time Anthony left during his wedding to go to Atlantic City with several members of the show staff. That wasn't the extent of the perceived attacks inflicted upon Opie and his family. One such incident occurred when Anthony visited F.H. Riley's in the heart of Huntington Village, a restaurant owned by Opie's brother, Brett. Brett wasn't there at the time, and a new manager who was unaware of the Opie and Anthony show made Anthony wait like a normal person. Anthony complained about this service on Twitter, which led to backlash against F.H. Riley's and Opie. When Opie came to work on Monday, he admits he was in a bad mood.
And I'm like, oh my God, here we go, another radio show where we're fucking really pissed off at each other. So right before Ecstasy of Gold, my phone goes off. And, a text. A lot of times my wife will text me when she's up, just to tell me that, she's up and the kids are cool. So I look down, and the text says, the little cunt won't even look at me. I went, what? And I'm like, huh? What? Why is Aunt texting me that? What? Who's not looking at? Then I realized that the text was meant for somebody else and that he fucking sent it to me. I'm like, wow, okay. So I wasn't going to do a radio show that day. We had a huge blowout. Everyone fucking heard it. And I left and I went, and talked to Mel Karmazin. I said, I quit. And the guy would not let me fucking quit. He literally would not let me quit. And he calmed me down and says, look, I know you guys got issues and stuff, but you guys are good together. You got to, maybe you got to go in there, try to figure this shit out.
After discussing his tumultuous relationship with Anthony, Opie broke down over the loss of their friendship.
But when me and Anthony started doing radio, we couldn't get enough of each other. After radio shows, we would call each other and, and we would, talk about the show for hours. The fact is, I did, love doing the show with him. And when that, relationship changed in '99, I never got over it. And yeah, I took it out on his, girlfriend. And that was wrong.
Later that day on the Anthony Cumia show, Anthony made his response to Opie's side of the story. He questioned Opie's decision not to watch the Greg Show's video, citing the fact that Greg got the wrong impression from the bullet points his people gave him. Anthony reiterated many of the points made in the Greg Show's video. However, he brushed off the accusation that SiriusXM had a problem with his drinking or missing work, but did address the race rants.
The race thing. Told Bob and management about the race angle. It's fucking satellite radio. Everything goes. It wasn't a 4-hour race show. If something was in the news about race, yeah, I'd talk about it. Why not? Like now, you're not telling me the news isn't inundated with fucking race stories? It's the biggest fucking thing on the news with what happened with Ferguson. And so I'm going to talk about it. And yeah, people know my opinions. So what? It's part of the show. It's part of discussing the news. Sorry, it doesn't fit in with a fucking more The View-like program. Holy mackerel.
We'd also take time to talk about the personal grievances Opie brought up. According to Anthony, he did leave during the wedding to go to Atlantic City, but said it was after the ceremonies. Moreover, he admitted to being a terrible friend in general.
This is what I said too. Look, I am not a good friend. Just not. Never have been.
I love my friends. I love hanging out and stuff. But those things that go along with, like, showing that you're a good friend, I'm not good at. I understand that. One of my problems. And for a friend, you know, you deal with it. You figure shit out. But Joe Curry is a good friend of mine, probably knows me better than anybody, any one of my friends. I've known him since 1907. No, it was 1977. And he knows me and knows that I adore the guy. He's one of my best friends ever for that many years. And I don't think I've ever gotten him a birthday card. Do you know, yesterday was his birthday. You know how I fucking remembered? Garrett told him happy birthday. Right out there. I'm not kidding.
Ultimately, Anthony questioned why Opie was so upset in spite of his wonderful family and life.
All right, never came over. Never met his kids. Well, I never came over and met the kids. I met the kid, his son, once at F.H. Riley's for, I guess, St. Patty's Day a couple of years back. Adorable. Fucking great. Adorable kid. He's got a wonderful family. He's got an amazing family. Beautiful wife, 2 beautiful kids, a great place to live, an amazing place out in the Hamptons, a giant bank account. What the fuck are you pissed about? Holy mackerel. Be happy. Just fucking be happy. I'm astounded that a textbook version of an amazing life doesn't have him pulling a Fred Astaire and singing in the rain. I don't know what a person has to look for when to everyone else you're seeing this amazing life. This amazing life. And there's always gotta be a problem. I don't get it.
The disintegration of Opie and Anthony's friendship is one of the most interesting aspects of their entire history. On one hand, we know so little about the events that went on behind the scenes. On the other hand, it was clearly a major turning point, which had effects that reverberated throughout the rest of their career. The details revealed during the Greg Shell saga provide an important window into the mind and personality of Anthony Cumia. He is incapable of forming genuine relationships with other people. He is also terrified of conflict to the point of passive-aggressively giving his radio partner the silent treatment for 15 years instead of defending his girlfriend. Earlier in the video, we talked about Anthony's patterns of behavior, because they will be crucial to understanding the bizarre events which will unfold in future installments of the series. Part 1 and 2 were just the appetizer for the banquet of insanity that we're about to experience. It's a tale of gothic horror, complete with domestic violence, transgender prostitutes, pedophile accusations, doxing attempts, Reddit bounties, child murder, and a fucking People's Court appearance. So strap yourselves in.
Hey, it's me, Joe Matteries. Welcome to my podcast. My guest today is host of the Artie and Anthony Show, Anthony Cumia. So Anthony, somebody's doing a YouTube documentary about your downward spiral into racism and bisexuality. How does that make you feel?
This is terrible.
It's those jabronis on the Opie and Anthony subreddit, isn't it?
Oh my god, right?
They've been trolling me for years. I want to put my 100% Italian forearm right through their faces, but I'm in so much Celexa that if I tried to elbow one of the Fanokes, I'd take off like a fucking helicopter. How do you deal with them?
Nothing works. Nothing works. It's the worst.
It's a very difficult situation. That's Tony Soprano. I hear you're pretty good at impressions, too. Sounds like you're doing Liberace right now.
Fuck you. I swear I will just block everyone.
Calm down. I ain't got nothing against the gays. I've even been known to enjoy a little salami myself. Jan Morton introduced me to it.
God, who the fuck? Dennis Leary.
Well, I guess that's it for this episode of the podcast.
In part 2 of this series, we left off at the end of the Greg Shell saga. After 20 years of relative silence, Opie and Anthony publicly aired their grievances with one another. Over the years, fans had turned on Opie, who they believed to be an albatross around the neck of the show. Even though vicious jokes and insults were a staple of Owen Day, Opie always seemed a little less than willing to be on the receiving end of a beating. Fans also despised the way he would steamroll over funny conversations, or bring them to a grinding halt by taking a phone call or reading a line from instant feedback.
He's delivering justice. He's a police officer.
Oh, you're a police officer in North Carolina? What's the crime where you live? Somebody rings your doorbell and runs?
I can't hear him at all.
You can't hear him?
No, not at all.
Why?
Sounds like he's in the background as opposed to being
Yeah,
on
that blows. What are you doing, Bill? Chasing those Duke boys?
There is a problem. You got to tell what's his name. You know, when we do have a guest on that mic, they can't hear the phones. That sucks.
Maybe he's investigating. I understand that.
Did you really say the Allman brothers?
Just stepped on. Just stomped on.
What
Jim's
happened?
in the middle of a joke on that cop from North Carolina, and Opie just just trotting on it like through a daisy field.
What happened?
Stomping.
Oh,
was it a good one?
He was halfway through it.
I don't remember.
It wasn't like where you start and kind of, you know, you're tripping. Jim was halfway through that
I told
gag.
you, he's roadkill today. We're just going to keep...
That could have been one that got us into fifth
that
gear.
would have been a good one. We're just going to keep running him over.
That
wow.
would've been a good one.
I'm sorry.
Look at Opie's big footprint on your head.
More broadly, fans believed he was being carried by funnier people, such as his co-hosts and guests. When Anthony finally addressed the situation with Opie, the response from fans was overwhelmingly positive. For a brief period of time, this wave of positivity alleviated the growing dissatisfaction with the Anthony Cumia show. The Anthony Cumia Network also mitigated these problems by adding 2 new shows to their programming lineup that proved very popular with the fans. The first edition being The Legion of Skanks, featuring Louis J. Gomez, Big J. Okerson, and Dave Smith. The other noteworthy addition was The Gavin McInnes Show, hosted by Gavin McInnes, founder of the militant white nationalist group known as the Proud Boys. Despite the state of Anthony's own show, many fans at the time credit Legion of Skanks and Gavin McInnes with being entertaining enough to continue subscribing to the Anthony Cumia network. Between the Greg Shell saga and the acquisition of 2 popular new programs, the first half of 2015 was looking good for Anthony. However, there was a storm brewing on the horizon. Perhaps the first major scandal to hit the Anthony Cumia network surrounded this image. For those unfamiliar with the show, this is a graphic for a hypothetical collaboration between Anthony Cumia and Ron Bennington, host of the critically acclaimed Ron and Fez show. As stated in the previous video, a primary complaint regarding the Anthony Cumia show was the lack of a co-host or regular guests to keep Anthony out of the weeds of race-related yammering. Ron Bennington is also one of the most beloved figures in the Opie and Anthony universe. Aside from Colin Quinn, Dennis Falcone, and Scorch, few other individuals have managed to capture the same degree of respect and admiration from the fanbase as Ronnie B. The prospect of Ron joining the network and co-hosting a show with Anthony was one of the best outcomes any fan could imagine. According to Keith, Ron was interested in working on a deal, and they engaged in multiple meetings to iron out the details.
On a whim, I text Mr. B. And I
what kind of phone is that? A whim? I have an iPhone.
Yeah, it was.
What did you use? The whim? Who puts out the whim? Thank you. It's that kind of comedy that just.
It is that kind of comedy.
Keeps the.
And I texted him and basically said, about Fez retiring, and he should look into coming over with us.
Yeah.
I didn't hear from him for a couple hours, and then he sent me a text, and he just wrote Sirius, not the company, Sirius with question mark. And I looked at my phone, and I says, holy fuck. And I said, do you have a couple minutes to talk? So Ron and I got on the phone, and I pitched him, and we talked for about 10 minutes, and he was very interested in it, and we then set up, I hung up with him, I called Anthony, I said, holy fuck, you're not going to believe this. Ron has an interest in working with us. So we set up a dinner. Anthony, Ron, and myself, we went out to dinner.
At the same time, the deadline for Ron to re-sign with SiriusXM was fast approaching. In a last-ditch effort, Keith posted the Ron and Anthony Show graphic to Twitter.
Up until last week, I mean, I spoke with Ronnie on Thursday night, and Friday was the deadline for him to sign the Sirius deal. And, we talked a little bit and about what we could do to make this happen.
Yeah.
And he wanted a presence on both, and I understand that. And I understand he was concerned with having, again, with how many people were already here that were crossover fans between Ron and Anthony.
Yeah.
And Friday, after some of the comments that were made on the Owen J show in the morning had something to do with it about me tweeting out that picture. But at the same time, I knew that was my last shot, our last shot at possibly showing him how much there was.
Yeah, the support that's out there
Right.
for this the Ron and Anthony show
Right.
Would have.
And
yeah.
everybody went fucking crazy.
Some would say this was a cheap attempt to deceive Anthony's own subscribers into drumming up enough support to sway Ron Bennington's decision. Either way, Ron renewed his contract with SiriusXM, and the fans were left feeling misled and disappointed. Matters were only made worse when Keith admitted that the negotiations with Ron put every other aspect of developing the Anthony Cumia network on hold.
This whole time behind the scenes, I had to put everything on hold with this show. I had to put the app on hold, I had to put the website on hold, live events.
And that's how you executive produce.
These problems compounded the issues with Anthony's show, and fans began to express their displeasure with increasing frequency. The tragedy is that few of the posts or comments from this point in time seem truly angry with Ant. These are longtime fans who want to support Anthony. Many of them are right-wing, but they want comedy, not race-baiting on Twitter, or repeating the same handful of black crime statistics over and over again. A sentiment that was perfectly laid out by Ron Bennington on the Anthony Cumia show.
You got lost somewhere along the way. I got lost? Yeah. You were the funniest out of everybody. See, now I do feel like I'm the ghost visiting. Oh, shit. You were the absolute funniest out of everyone.
Uh-huh.
That didn't give you pleasure.
Unfortunately, Anthony would quickly squander what remaining goodwill he had with his fan base. Tensions with Reddit had been steadily rising for months, and controversial posts from Anthony were becoming more common. Even on the Anthony Cumia Show discussion subreddit, which was a safer space for Anthony, people were expressing their frustration with the show. An early example of this trend would be the controversy regarding a guest named Jeff Abraham and his dick spray.
Promescent. And what does it do? So you'd go a while, you finally hook up with this girl, that girl of your dreams kind of thing, and you're with her, and now you don't have that control. You are sitting there, and you're ready to explode very quickly, and you want to satisfy this girl. So you're telling me Promescent
Yeah.
will make you last longer and be able to satisfy that girl.
There's actually a lot of physiological reasons, even among 50, 60-year-old men, where they prematurely ejaculate.
Jeez.
Ant claimed it wasn't a paid spot, but fans were pissed that the show they pay a monthly subscription for was devoting time to a segment that bore all the hallmarks of a late-night infomercial. The dissatisfaction with Anthony's own show was also still a major issue for Anthony's fans. There were growing concerns about the app and the New York studio Anthony had been talking about for months. Anthony became ever more defensive and took to Reddit to bemoan his detractors and their mob mentality. We know now that these minor skirmishes were only the precursor to a much larger battle that would soon erupt. In mid-July 2015, Anthony took part in the roast of Big J. Okerson, one of the aforementioned members of the Legion of Skanks. Ant's set was almost universally panned, because in addition to being criminally unfunny, it was filled with the same dull racial babble that people were long tired of. Anthony also used multiple jokes to bitterly reference the Opie and Jim show, even though his Twitter rant calling black people violent subhuman savages was the only reason Opie and Anthony came to an end. Eventually, he barreled through the last quarter of his jokes, which were all aimed at Joe DeRosa. I'm not going to get into the Joe DeRosa feud, but I will link to Tef Pattern's complete guide to the Anthony Cumia vs. Joe DeRosa fallout. In a hilarious turn of events, Joe DeRosa had actually pulled out of the roast. So on top of the jokes being unfunny, Ant looked even more like an obsessed crazy person than when he was bitterly talking about O&J. Anthony's set was so bad that it had to be heavily edited for the official video released by the Legion of Skanks. I would like to play clips of the unedited video for you, but since the roast has been ostensibly scrubbed from YouTube, I don't want this video to receive any copyright disputes. Instead, I will include some still images